don't know about blasphemy now.
But that is your fact. So we're trying to. This is why stop bringing soccer posts to a football game. Okay.
So will this my fact be considered as a blasphemy? Because a lot of people have been killed in Nigeria because of saying this.
If you listen to the question I asked the guy, last question, he said he has to be to God. He said, Muhammad, you cannot blaspheme against Muhammad. And that's it, but people have been said this in miscarriage of whatever. But let me play this video. Before we jump, we'll jump before further in a second. I speak the truth. I guess like food, bread, turkey, so many things. Yeah, we can. So we'll leave this and go and join that. That's fine. We'll come and join you in a second.
We're joining you now.
I just want to find out what you think of this. Yes.
So we are coming to Europe, of course.
Is there equality of faith? If we look to one hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on the authority of Abu Hurairah, Sahih Muslim. So no Sunni Muslim can really argue against Sahih Muslim or Sahih Bukhari. Rasulullah said, don't greet the Jews and the Christians before they greet you, and when you meet any of them on the roads, force them to go on a narrow side. And Imam Malik said the same. In fact, Umar ibn Khattab, who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that if there was to be another Nabi after me, it would be Umar ibn Khattab in his own charter, not charter of United Nations, in his charter with the people of Sham, with those Christians of Sham, in his charter was Kafir and Muslim, they're not allowed to wear the same clothes as one another. If the Muslim, he comes out on the day of Eid and he sees Kafir with nice clothes, the Kafir has to take his clothes off and give it to the Muslims. The Kafir, when he walks inside the street, he has to wear a red belt around his neck, and he has to have his forehead shaved, and he has to wear two shoes which are different from one another. He's not allowed to walk on the pavement. He has to walk and he has to walk in the middle of the road, and he has to ride on a mule. And that's only for the adults, not for the children. And you can see how Islam would make the child become a Muslim. The child growing up in the state of Kufr, he will turn to Islam. Why? But the child who will be walking along with his dad. Say, Dad, why you got your forehead shaved? Why you gonna walk? Why can't you ride the animal like the Muslims did? Ride the animal like this. Why are you walking with both legs dangling on the side of the donkey? Why is it every time the Muslim comes to you, you ask for your clothes, you give it? Why is it every time he tells you to get down from the horse?
You see the tyrannic ingredients in Islam. You see the tyrannic ingredient in Islam. This is the religion, Arabic culture that was sold to our people, and our people are now embracing it, having sleepless nights because of this. Preach. You see?
I'm not sure who stopped it. I'm not sure. Someone stopped it. Yeah, let's go to the
Seventeenth, 2021. Violence erupted on Wednesday in Ilorin, Kwara State capital after the state government reopened 10 schools shut last month over the use of hijab by Muslim female students. The violence started after Christian officials of Baptist school Surulere disallowed the girls in hijab from gaining access into the school. This did not go down well, with Muslim parents leading to arguments and eventual clash. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, will be demanding the assets declaration forms of all bankers across the country. Addressing State House correspondents in Abuja, the chairman of the anti-graft agency, Abdulrashid Bauer, announced that bankers would be required to present the forms from June the 1st. Meanwhile, the Lagos state government has identified 88 healthcare facilities across the state where residents can
between government forces and militia groups in the capital Khartoum last year. The rebels, known as Rapid Support Forces, originated as an Arab tribal militia in the Darfur region. The area has a long history of ethnic conflict, culminating in the 2003 genocide. In June last year, the rebel forces made one of their first major gains, taking the garrison in Khartoum. What followed in the town and the nearby displacement camp in Kassab was a massacre. Many of the survivors fled to camps on the border of North Darfur and eastern Chad, from where our Africa correspondent Yusra Al-Bakhir sent this report. It contains video of an attack and its aftermath on unarmed civilians, and also mention of sexual violence.
These are the women demanding answers, forced out of their homes by militias in a national war devastating Sudan that echoes the Darfur genocide of 20 years ago. My 13-year-old daughter is still missing since the day we fled, she says. I have no mother, no brother. I can't find anyone. And these are the men that terrorized her hometown, declaring victory to the Arabs over lifeless bodies. Our investigation with Lighthouse Reports reveals this rare, unseen footage. Evidence of ethnically motivated atrocities against civilians by militiamen, promising to make them suffer. We've identified the victims in this video. 5 brothers dragged.
I don't want this to go on too much because it is going to get even more hairy. So this is what bothers me when our people talk about these things. Because when they say they are killing civilians, what they are basically saying they are killing Muslims, but because they are not Arabs. And that those people, they will pass for Fulanis. This same man that came, Perry, that came, will be the same people proselytizing the same religion, not knowing what comes after the religion. After you carry the religion, there is something else that comes with it. Arabization. They are wiping out black people from those countries. This is something that is happening right now. And our people don't want to open their eyes to see that this is something that you are actually weakening your own people against by subscribing to the same religion. And when these people were in that country now, they were Muslim doing the same thing that the others were doing, that the Arabs were doing. But when the Arabs came, did they see them as one? No, they didn't see them as one. They knew they were different. They knew, and they killed them for it. Kill Muslims for it. And what is the government doing? Well, do you see the Arab world being completely repulsed by this and say, well, how dare you go and kill Muslims? We will do everything to stop it. No. After all they want is turn Arab. When you turn Arab, then they come to the next country, make it Muslim, and turn that one Arab too. Just like they did to the entire North Africa. This is something that we have to start. And it's a serious, I think if there are very few situations I actually say it's a serious problem for us to deal with. Most of the Nigerian problems are easy. The one that is serious is the one where how do you have the people work together when they are so deeply ingrained in their religious beliefs? How do you get them to see that they are the same people, that they should work against the greater threat? That is the most difficult one. You can even get over the tribal one, but that religious one is very, very strong.
So you think
Sudan's
conflicts started as a result? Whoa, hold on, Kenny. So you think Sudan's conflict started as a result of religion? That's what you think?
No.
So you think the war they're fighting in Sudan is as a result of religion?
No.
Okay, so why do you keep making that pronouncement?
It has
because they are using it as a cover to do what they truly want to do.
It has religious undertone. The Southern Sudan is predominantly Christian.
We're talking about Sudan.
No, forefathers, the answer is that this fight in Sudan has religious undertone because the Southern Sudan is predominantly Christians.
Sudan,
while the North is predominantly
these are not Southern Sudan. This one is Northern Sudan.
Yes, there are still Christians. Forefathers, there are still some Christians in the northern Sudan, so they are trying to
No,
wipe
these
them
ones are
off.
Muslims.
No, it has
These ones are
nothing-
No,
Muslims. They are killing.
yes, there are Muslims, civilized Muslims, like the type of Rahman, the Prince Rahman that came here, his type, the educated ones that are civilized, they are wiping them off. They want everybody to be an extremist there. That is what is happening in Sudan.
All right, Kenny. So
Do you
this one
understand?
you're gonna,
So that is why forefathers said,
he's wrong.
forefathers,
Okay,
you see this kind of Islamic movement is the reason why some of us are afraid of continuing to live in the same country with these people. But
Kenny,
you guys are not going to understand it. It is earlier that we detach ourselves from these people. Let them keep their religion and
Detaching
practice
yourself
it.
is not going to solve the problem.
Kenny,
The question
It's
is how
solving
you are
it.
going to. You have to find a way
You
to
see why?
let
You
them
see
see
how
that they are the same people.
No. You see how they've crippled into Kwara State and taken over Kwara State. They are
Then why would they not do that country to country? It's the same thing.
No, they can't do that country to country. They
did
can't.
that to Egypt first. Now they are in
Can't do
Sudan.
it to Biafra. They can't do it to Biafra. They can't.
Is it okay?
So why haven't they done that in US?
They already made a
Why
Biafra
haven't they done that in US? As small as forefathers, as small as Poland, as small as Poland. Why haven't they done that in Poland, Germany, Sweden, Norway?
Strong nations.
Biafra is a strong nation.
This is the only
Biafra was that started in 1967. What are you
It's a
talking
strong
about?
nation.
Should I leave?
We can make our own whatever that you think of. We can make it.
See,
we
that
made
problem
it before.
still exists. Even within Biafra, they will come there and they'll still combat
They
Biafra.
can't.
If you don't confront the problem, you will still meet it.
We have Amadioha.
Amadioha is not. Biafra doesn't believe in Amadioha. Biafra, they think
we believe forefathers. We make all of them pregnant in a night. All of them.
Sorry. Speak the truth.
We use the on them.
You know that many Biafrans don't believe in what you believe in. They believe that they are Israelites.
Yes, let them believe. But at least we are tolerant. We are tolerant of each other, right?
No,
we tolerate one another.
No, you are not.
We tolerate one another.
Are we gonna have an intellectual conversation based on fact and evidence, or are we gonna have a clowning session based jocularly and we can just all act?
Okay, let's do that then.
So we just act like clowns. Is that fine?
No. Let's do intellectual based.
Okay, so if we were gonna have an intellectual discussion, the fun is good, but it's also imperative that we speak facts and we speak evidence. So you cannot just come on here and talk about Southern Sudan when they're not involved in the conflict. And then when we want to talk about, we say it's only Sudan, then you say, well, no, there's Christians there. The fight in Sudan is not about religion. It was about politics. It's about power. It's about economic downturn of Sudan. When in a nutshell, Bashir Omar wanted to make sure there would be no coups in this country. Okay? And then he elevated the Janjaweed and make them the RJF. The guy he put in charge, Hermit, turned against him. And that is basically, he ganged up with the head of the paramilitary. And this is what we have in Sudan. It has nothing to do with religion. So we can't come out here and.
So why are they killing the non-Arabs?
Well, there are no Sudanese themselves are not even Arabs. They're not Arabs. So what are we talking about?
What are you talking about? Why are the Arabs killing non-Arabs then?
Again, like I said, there are no Arabs in Sudan.
Then whom are the Arabs killing non-Arabs?
Forefathers, look up this. Look this up.
Did you get this?
The fight in Sudan.
Let me play it again so he understands. Maybe he doesn't know where
religion is very critical in the fight in Sudan.
He wants to have an
very critical. The Christian community in Sudan are crying for help. You guys are not understanding what is going on.
You want me to share it again where I got the information? I speak it to you. You want me to share the information? You are muted.
Now, forefathers, I went to
this is what I said.
Tahir Institute of Middle East Policy. This is what I found. They said, Sudan's Christian community has been targeted by both RFS and SAF since the beginning of Sudan war.
It's always been like that. And whenever they are fighting, they often target the non-Arabs the most.
May 9th, this report was given on May 9th, 2024.
Well, give him the link. Let's see what you're talking about.
Okay, I will share it in the comment section now because I don't know. Because I'm using
this is what we need to start doing.
Just look out the comment section right now. I will share it right now.
This is what I'll encourage.
Is there?
Yeah. They are targeting non-Arabs. This is something that they do. You want me to share the information again?
Do you think
but their media will turn the news upside down to deceive the people outside the world?
They call themselves Arab. I think I respect their right to self-distinction.
Oh, good. Call yourself.
I don't see them as Arab because many of them are very dark, but they call themselves Arab because hold on. Let me just say my piece. You see,
even Somalians call themselves Arabs.
Yeah, one of the things that they do is
look like an Arab to you.
Hold on, now. That's why they use rape as a weapon, because when they rape somebody, the person is born by this. If the person is born, as long as it's an Arab, somebody that claims to be Arab, that is the father, they will say the person is Arab. And the thing about Arab is that it's a very, very slippery thing. It could be, they could say it's cultural, but it could also be racial.
How can Arab be cultural?
That is why they will target Christian girls. They will target Christian girls, kidnap them.
It's a cultural thing.
And impregnate all of them. They will target Christian girls. It's happening in Nigeria.
That's what they do.
They will kidnap Christian girls and impregnate all of them and convert them to Islam. It's happening in Nigeria today.
I can play it to you again. It's from Sky News. This one is.
You want me to take evidence of something like that from Sky?
I shared.
Where would you prefer it
here right now?
The same Sky News that yesterday, the last hospital in Gaza.
No.
2 days.
What I shared is not from Sky. It's from the Tahrir Institute Institute for Middle East Policy.
Okay, good. I'll check that. So the same Sky that 2 days ago, the last hospital in Gaza was bombed. The doctors were shot in broad daylight.
I know.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. So the same Sky that the patients were led out and shot and stripped naked, some of them with IV on their arms, and Sky News told us that the IDF was evacuating people. This is the same Sky that you want us to take this kind of news from.
Give me your source that you prefer, then I will go and seek it there so that you know this is something that is being covered by African news channels, not just this Western ones, African ones too.
What is being covered? Because remember,
the Sudan war.
Okay, so what aspect of the Sudan war?
They covered the fact that they are fighting each other, the generals are fighting each other, and they also covered the fact that the Arabs
are the fact that the generals are fighting each other when there was a coup speech. What we're actually arguing is the fact that Kenya is trying to say they are killing Christians in the Sudan war. They are the target. That is what
I'm not worrying about Christians right now. I'm talking about
the ones
worried about it. Can you just let me finish my statement, please? I'm not worried about the Christian ones. See, hold on. Christian and Arabs fighting each other is not new. The one that is new, that Muslims in Africa should, that is actually relevant to Muslims in Nigeria, is the fact that Arabs that are Muslims are killing black people that are Muslims because they are not Arabs.
You love to talk a lot more than Monterey. That's your problem. So Kenny, actually, which is what...
Why are you talking to him? It's not Kenny that brought the topic up.
Well, Kenny did bring it up. That was Kenny brought it up because Kenny made the...
Kenny is talking about South Sudan.
Kenny made the wrong pronouncement. You love to talk. So
okay, let's say he made the wrong pronouncement.
What was the wrong pronouncement that I made?
Pronouncement and mentioned South Sudan. Kenny, hold on. I'm trying to...
What was wrong with that?
You see why he likes to go after the one that is not substantiated?
No, I shared the news. Can you share the news on the screen?
I can't see.
Just make things up.
I can't see what you're
sharing.
News. Kenny.
I can't see it. What are you sharing? I can't see it in the private chat.
How we got to
I can't share in the private chat because I'm using my laptop to search for the news while I'm using my phone for this call, right? So I shared it in the comment section. Forefathers, please. I shared it in the comment section.
Let me check. Okay.
So
you see it there.
This is what Kenny said. Kenny started off by saying South Sudan. Both of us corrected them that this is not the beef between, this is not a war between North and South Sudan. This is only
I
about
say,
Sudan.
this is what I say.
Then, what you
The
said
the
then
fight
was
the
that
fight
the
on both
fight was
South and North Sudan has religious undertone. That
okay,
was like what I say.
but we will
Both the
not.
South and the North has religious undertone. That was what I say.
Kenny, you will have all day to
Mhm.
bash Islam. Just relax, okay? You will have all day
I'm
to
not
bash
bashing it.
Islam.
I'm exposing
It is
Islam.
okay. So
Two
this is
different things. Exposing and bashing are two different things.
all right. You will have all day to expose Islam. Just
Okay.
relax. All right. So you started up by talking about South Sudan, South Sudan, South Sudan. We corrected you and
No, no,
said,
no, 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 no. You did not correct me on anything.
all right,
I did
okay.
not start off
So
by
we
saying South Sudan.
said,
I said
okay, so
the
okay.
fight on both South and North Sudan has a
No, no,
religious
no, no,
undertone. That was what I
no,
said. So
no,
what
no,
did you correct me
no,
on?
no, no. You
Eh?
started off, Kenny. Is it okay if I speak, please? I don't want to play this
You
game
are
from
saying
the top.
something that I did not say.
All right,
This is
so
just a few minutes ago. You're making
let
things
me.
up.
People can rewind it. People can easily rewind this. You mentioned South
Okay.
Sudan. The discussion was not
Can we rewind it?
Kenny. You mentioned South Sudan. Let's not play this game,
I
please.
said yes.
Kenny,
Did you hear what I was just
is
saying?
it okay?
Is it that you can't hear me or what?
Let's
I
not
repeated
play.
what I said, and let me repeat it. I said that both the fight on North and South Sudan both has religious undertone. That was what I said.
Is it okay if I speak now?
No,
Yeah.
did you agree that this is what I said?
After we corrected you that the
No,
war
no,
we
no,
were
no.
talking
No,
about.
he
Did you
actually said
agree
that.
that
He
this is
actually
what
No,
I
he
said
said?
didn't. We talked
You
about
now said
when we
that this is
mentioned
what you said.
when we mentioned
You said,
you
I speak the
actually
truth.
no
You are really being
oh,
disingenuous right now. You
no
are going
you
after a
oh Lord.
point that is not even the central point at all.
if you want to
You are
play
being
that game,
disingenuous right now.
good. I'm glad you can use that word. So
The
now
trust of the
you rewind
argument, you are not focusing on it.
because you guys are playing a little
Wow.
silly. You're playing a little silly game now.
The trust
You
of the argument
mentioned
is that Arabs are
is it
killing,
oh,
and I can't even believe you as a black person, you are sitting there trying to distract from that
is it
point.
is it okay if I land? If this is going to turn into a game like we just
If you want
pretend
to
that
if you want to call it a game, for you, if it's a game, let it be a game. If
forefathers
black people are being killed and you are here trying to distract the point away
we
from that,
haven't
that is very
no
shameful, I must
how
say.
did
All
I
because of religion.
how did I distract away from you can stop being
Because you are watching black people getting killed, and all you are
can
talking about is
you
semantics.
can you stop being childish and let
You
us
are talking about semantics. You are the one being childish and diabolical at the same time.
forefathers good I'm diabolical so just give me I'm going to keep insisting that you're going to let me talk. That's what you're going to do.
Okay, take
So
a minute to explain your
I've
point.
been trying to say the same thing for the last 5 minutes. Okay, it is obvious that both of y'all don't even understand what
Take a
is going
minute to
on.
explain your point
You
then.
stop interjecting me and let me finish. So it is very obvious that both of y'all do not even understand what is going on in this Sudan. Okay, because on one hand, you're saying you want to talk about the Arabs. On another hand, Kenny is telling us it is Christians that are being killed. And I said, no. I said that you actually said it was North Sudan. You made that pronouncement. It was you that said North Sudan. When I
Yes,
said no, it's not, exactly. So what do you mean I'm being disingenuous? He did not know what he was
because the
talking
point
about.
was just a
It's okay.
tangential
It's
point.
okay. It's okay. It's
The
okay.
entire, even the
It's
thrust of his
okay.
argument is actually correct.
Let me finish. All right. I know you love to talk more than you love to
Unbelievable.
moderate. We are not talking about. We were talking about. Then I started explaining how the RJF came into power with Bashir Omar and his commander and the paramilitary guy. This is where we have stopped. So if you guys want to say it is there's a Christian undertone, I said no, it is politics and was an economic downturn. We started with Bashir Omar trying to keep himself coup proof. It was not about religion in the first place. So if you guys want to now claim that it has religious undertones, it is your job now to show us how Christians are being targeted. You're saying Arabs, and he's saying Christians, and he's saying Somalians call themselves Arabs, and you guys are talking about Arabs being raping people in Somalia. Let's just stick to the topic and let's discuss the topic. It's okay to bash, Bash whatever you want to bash, but let's stick to the topic. Very simple.
Okay, thank you. So the topic is about whether are Sharia inevitable all across this in Nigeria. And I played a video regarding some of the tensions in Kwara State that has occurred. And we all know about the case of Deborah. And we know some of the things that have been going on, from the extremism to expansionist moves that have been made. Then I also played a video regarding the Sudan, which is quite pertinent to our people. In a way, it's a teachable moment to any Muslim that is black. That we watched, our history clearly shows that North Africa was Arabized. The few nations that were not Arabized are like Turkey and Iran. Most of the others in that region were practically Arabized. And the wave is still not stopped. The wave is still coming down south, and it's made its way into Sudan. And many Sudanese now consider themselves Arabs in Sudan. We like it or not, they consider themselves Arabs. And they are going out there attacking other black Muslims because they are not Arabs. That is pertinent, very critical information for any black person to understand. Because what that tells
you mean to say Somalia or North Sudan?
No, not Sudan itself.
Somalia mostly see themselves.
Can you tell the
Can you put your camera on? Can you put your camera on? Jide, you too. Where are you? You are missing in the image completely. You are very far from your.
My laptop is very far, so I will let you land.
You can always bring it close, buddy. Bring
and
it close.
And Jide too should be camera on.
Okay,
don't worry. I will let you.
Put me the box.
Yeah. All right.
Can I ask a question before we?
Sir, can you bring your camera close? Like, come on. Like, we can't.
Yeah, my laptop is the position.
You can carry it. You have a table in front of you, brother.
So what is going on? No, it's under the fan. So the where I'm at is hot. So I need.
We can't break the rules for those people, man. No, you got to.
No, you can see my face. You can.
No, I can't see your face. I'm nearsighted.
Can you see me better now?
No, I can't see you. Your camera, that is not
okay.
Your camera.
Can I ask my question then?
You can't, sir. We have to see your face.
No, okay. Let me just use my own discretion to allow him to ask his question, and you will need to fix your camera for if you are going to stay on. Please ask your question.
So, my first question is Niger, our neighbors, and Chad, Benin Republic, practicing Sharia law?
Interesting question. I'm not even sure about that. Let's find out.
No, and I want half of Turkey is in Europe to probably enlighten us.
I'm not going to enlighten you if you're going to be. Turkey, listen. I see you in the comment section. Okay, we're not going to play these games.
There's no game. You guys threw in a lot of lies.
Okay, so put your camera.
I couldn't just accept them.
Forefathers, have this guy put his camera. He's trying to hide, do the collider thing, disguising like a superhero. Come on, put your camera. Let's see your face. Back your work with your face.
I just told you.
But we can see him. We can see him. Let him just ask the question.
Can you see my face better now?
Don't worry.
No, I can't see your face.
If we all can see you, the whole world.
We can see him. Even the comment section are saying that we can see him.
This is what they do.
Everyone
they want to say these things, but they want to hide.
He has beer. He has beer.
And
this guy,
he's a handsome man. We can see him.
I speak it. You are really being to visit us today. Jesus Christ! Because the topic is against what he stands for, and he doesn't want it to carry on.
Profathers, please moderate now. Profathers, please.
Okay. Let's
get this guy is asking very important questions, please.
Yeah, please. That question is whether Niger and Chad are practicing Sharia law.
Who's that man, Tracy Jacobin? That man.
At least our neighbor, even Cameroon. Let's even look within the Sahel. How many of these guys are practicing Sharia?
None, my brother. None. Zero.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting.
So when
Sharia is not in Niger, that is crazy.
That we are doing it for our people. I'm from Oyo State.
That is crazy.
I
I have to give it to the French, man. They stuck their constitution to that country.
I've spoken to my families. I've spoken to our people. And everyone is saying no. So I don't understand why people that are not even from Oyo State are pushing the agenda. Even as it stands.
Didn't you say you had a question for me?
Pushing the agenda. Okay, I will listen to you. Let me learn. That are pushing even this agenda.
Crazy.
Let me tell you how this started. I was in the debate when all this started. 3 months ago, someone on X, Twitter, said that the Yorubas are sticking to their tradition more. We are not going to allow it. We are going to send our scholars to the West to teach them. Fast forward this month, it all started, the push for the agenda. So this stems from the historical Twitter message.
Sir,
and a
what is
plan
your question?
From the north. My question is Turkey practicing Sharia? Is our neighbors practicing Sharia? How many countries within the Sahel is practicing Sharia?
Okay, so is Turkey practicing Sharia? No, just like Kenny rightly said the last time we spoke, he told us that Turkey does not practice Sharia. Turkey does not practice Sharia.
How did they manage to convince Nigerians to even allow that to be there?
No,
that is crazy.
Forefathers. Okay.
Let's even stick to our
when
neighbors.
Niger and other neighboring states are not even doing
that
it.
That is not doing it.
What?
Benin's not doing it.
Okay, so it's okay, Ola. You're hiding your face. That's good. Just stay far.
I'm not hiding.
So
you can see my face.
We can't see. Put it close. If you're really confident in your questions,
my laptop.
Of course you can. That's why you pretended like it was your screen. Well, anyway, in any event, listen. What is this Sharia? All right, that everybody is for.
No. Let's stick to the
underlying
philosophy.
Sir.
No, I will go from the underlying philosophy first.
What do you mean? No, then you're telling
what
me.
What is the intent?
What is this guy talking about?
Okay, is our neighbors practicing Sharia?
So let me land.
Okay.
Don't give me your philosophy. I don't need it. So Turkey doesn't.
No, it's not my philosophy. What is the underlying philosophy for introducing Sharia? Maybe let's say that.
Ola. Can you try to let the other person land after you ask a
question? I'll give you S.
God. What is this Sharia? Turkey does not practice it. Like Kenny rightly said in our last discussion, our neighbors don't practice it. Why would they need to practice it? Why? Because they have a smattering of Muslims in their country. Now, for Nigeria or the places that practice it, even in Indonesia, Indonesia has the most Muslims in the world, okay? More than the Arab world. Over 200 million Muslims. Even they don't practice Sharia, at least not in its criminal implementation, except in a region or a province called Aceh, all right? This is what actually happens in Nigeria, not the Aceh explanation I'm giving you, but in places like the United Arab Emirates, in places like Kuwait, and what they're trying to do in Saudi Arabia. Sharia law exists in places like Owo, Ogbomoso, Ede, definitely, and it has existed, even in Lagos itself, it has existed for over 300 years. But not the criminal implementation with the North.
Can you give us the source
of
the existence of this law? You said over. Can you give us the source?
Sir,
before 1999 Constitution, no Sharia law existed in our laws.
Okay,
so
all right. Okay. Listen. Ola. This is what you're gonna do, okay? Take your emotions, right? If there's a basket or a trash can behind you, take your emotions and chuck it in there. What you should focus on right now is facts. All right? The fact is that Sharia has existed, like I just mentioned. I mentioned Lagos. You have the ISWAP, ISP actually. You have in Ede. I mentioned these places. Maybe you should make use of the pen that is next to you. Ede, Ogbomoso, places like that have had Sharia. In fact, Sharia has existed in southwestern Nigeria, what we know as southwestern Nigeria today, for over 300 years. All
In
right. So,
what
and this was,
law? No, you say over
and,
300 years.
and this was,
Nigeria itself has not existed
and
over
this
300
was,
years.
and
So
this
give me the
was,
law. Is it the
Ola,
1960 something constitution? No, we need to
Ola,
make reference.
it's okay for the other person to land. All right. And the only
Yeah,
way
but you
you're
are
going
taking
to,
your time now.
No,
It's a very simple
I
because
question.
I'm
Hold
taking
on,
my
no,
hold
let
on,
time,
me
hold
because
on.
it
Let's
is a
calm down. Let's
complex,
calm down. Let me
it is
ask the
a,
question again.
it
So
is a
you, I will
complex
wait for you to
subject.
answer it straight. Let's be straight with each other. The question was how, what is the underlying philosophy behind the need to introduce the Sharia law? So it's a very simple question.
What do you guys, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Since it is obvious you guys just want to hear yourselves and you're not willing to listen to the other person, maybe I should let you guys just talk, go on a bashing spree and
No,
enjoy yourself.
no.
Because,
We are listening to you.
because
But you are
if
not
you say,
answering.
They
No, no.
asked you a
Maybe we should
you're
go
question.
not
on bashing spree
answering
because
me,
you are not
Remember, you said
talking.
that we are not
Maybe bashing
educated
spree
enough
is better.
about Islam. Educate us now.
exactly.
Educate
So,
us now, please. We are
okay,
waiting
so
for you.
if you let
We'll give
me,
you time.
if I keep
Educate us.
mentioning,
Why give him time? If
which
he's not going to answer it, then what's the point?
what am I not answering? You can
I ask you a
understand
straight
my
question. You spend a lot of time talking about other things.
big. I know you love to talk. Okay, so I don't know
You are the
what
one
you
that has been
don't.
doing all the talking.
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm explaining it from an Islamic point of view. So if you can give a better answer from an Islamic point of view, which I'm trying to tell him that Sharia has actually existed in for over 300 years, but you guys seem to be hard
Is
of.
that the underlying philosophy behind it?
He asked a question.
About the
Okay,
underlying
and he's
philosophy.
arguing. He's That's your question, and he's arguing that Sharia does not exist in Nigeria and has never existed because Nigeria has not been in existence for even 300 years.
no,
And
no.
I'm telling him,
I only said give me the source. If you said Sharia existed, what is the source? The current
you
Sharia,
know what,
I
you
can
guys
give
have
you the
fun, man. You
source.
guys are nuts. You guys have fun.
You
I'll
can't
listen
answer
to you
the
guys.
question.
Yeah,
No,
it's
answer
okay.
the question. We are waiting for you. That's
What
why
parts?
Tony
What
is
parts?
silent. He's not
What
talking.
parts?
I'm not talking.
What
And even the
parts?
person that asked the question is waiting for you to answer.
Well, he's obviously not listening. Either he's hard of hearing or comprehension is an issue. Because again, I will repeat and I will reiterate that Sharia, he's asking why Sharia is not in Benin
Allah, turn
Republic.
on your camera.
He's asking why
It
Sharia
went
is
silent.
not He's asking why Sharia is not in Benin Republic, why it's not in Togo, why it's not in Niger, and I'm explaining to you why it is not in these places, why it is in places like Indonesia, why the type that is being carried out in the United Arab Emirates, in Kuwait, and Oman, and those other countries in that region is what has been happening in southwestern Nigeria, parts of it for over 300 years. What part of that don't you guys understand?
Yeah,
Now,
so the
the
issue still remains. Sorry,
the
Kenny.
question
Tony has
Papa
to
has
say anything.
asked.
Kenny, hold on now. Kenny, he's not going to answer that one. Let's move on from that because the point I wanted to make was about this video that I was playing because this is very pertinent to our Muslims.
He's not going
In
to answer. What was the question going to be?
see
But
that
because
he
you want to
doesn't want me to
talk,
talk about it.
because
He doesn't
Kenny
want me to
had a
talk about it because
question.
every time I try to show this video and so that people understand what is going on, he just keep going on. Suddenly, want to answer
Am I a
questions.
magician that I know what video you want to show? Like
I
Kenny
want to
asked
show
his
the video of
question.
most this Arabs killing black people.
Can Kenny ask his question?
Can I, forefathers, can I say something? I've been listening for a while.
The question is very simple. What is the motive for this Sharia law implementation in Nigeria? Since we don't have it, in our among our proximate neighbors. So, what is the purpose? What is the intent What is the agenda of pushing for this Sharia law in Nigeria?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a politician. The best person that you should ask
But you
that, and
said
which
that I
I
was
think,
not educated enough to know about Sharia
Kenny, you
law.
asked me a question. It's okay. Let me answer.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know. The best person you should have asked, and which I believe you did, and which he answered you, was Dr. Perry.
Okay,
Dr. Perry
good.
already
Okay,
answered you
hold on.
that
Okay, hold on
question.
there. Since you have no answer to this question, will I be wrong to say that I am not going to accept the Sharia law since you don't know the answer? And Dr. Perry was here. He didn't know the answer either. So
No,
will I
Dr.
be wrong to
Perry.
say that I cannot accept this? Will I be wrong to say that the agenda is for Islamic expansion? The agenda is for dominance. Will I be wrong since you don't know? Will I be wrong to say, okay, this is what I think it is?
Well, first of all, that's a loaded question. So you cannot just say, would I be wrong? Then say, would I be wrong if I say it is for dominance? Because actually, even I can argue that, okay, well, I can see reason why you would say, well, maybe this really might be for dominance. All right. So that's one, it's a loaded question. But Dr. Perry already answered you, and that'll be up to them and the adherents of the Islamic faith and those that it would affect to say why.
Since you don't know the motive, can you then stop defending it then?
No, I'm not defending anything. What I am doing is I am correcting a lot of misconceptions that you guys are making.
And what is the misconception?
Well, like your fears and you making wrong pronouncements and you saying things that are actually not under the tenets of Sharia.
What was our fear?
Is it okay? Can I answer?
What was our fear?
Well, your fear is that there's going to be Islamization. They're going to rape your women.
Exactly what I said. I said, will I be wrong for saying that this is what I think the agenda is? Since you don't know the answer.
Let's try this again, Kenny. And when you said that, what was my answer to you?
You said you don't know.
No, I didn't only say I don't know. I said you asked a loaded question. I said if you only asked that would have been fine. Okay. But then when you brought up other aspects of it, I can probably see it from where you would say.
Now, what if I say that the agenda that is Sharia law of 18 is as useless as anything useless? Because we have Sharia law in Zamfara State. And since the adoption of Sharia law in Zamfara State, the only thing that I've seen them doing is to destroy alcohol sellers, to destroy alcohol, go against what they call it, anything that has to do with Christianity. For example, you cannot, which happened recently, you cannot sell food when the Muslims are fasting. The only thing that we see them done with the Sharia law is to amputate young Muslims. The only thing that we see them do, the only thing we see them do
you are
is to destroy.
Where I was taking it to.
Is to destroy women.
You know, this one they've answered it 1,000 times.
Yeah, and that is why.
Very big point.
And that is why we are saying, since that is what we've seen them done, and these things are wickedness. These things are not acceptable in our society. For that reason, Sharia law should be ended in Nigeria.
Like you are like them. You want to just combat them. That's why two of you are going the way you like it that way. But when I'm trying to open our people's eyes,
left for me,
problem,
give me the right tools. I will end this thing. You are just as bad as them, really. You are just as bad as them. What you just want is fight. And Oyibo will give you gun, you go and kill your own. Just like fight, because we can't negotiate anything with these people.
Move on. Let's move on. I'm not having.
The responsible of talk, he said something that was very wrong. The speaker, what are they calling it? The leader, the previous speaker, the guy, Dr. Perry. Is he Ali Perry or I don't? Dr. Perry I want to respond to what they said. They said that in Yoruba land there used to be Sharia law. That's a big lie. That's the biggest lie I've had in. That's the last big. That's the last.
What do you mean? But there were Muslims in Yoruba land now.
So let me explain. That's a lie. So this is what happened that time. During the time when we had our ancient civilization, right? Islam actually came to Yoruba land through trade, right? Through trade with the Arabs and North Africa. So as a result of that,
They were exchanging ideas, right? They were exchanging ideas, exchanging economic transaction and all that. So because when you trade with other groups of people, you also get in some language, some linguistics. So that's why if you speak Yoruba, for instance, as a Yoruba person, there's some of things we say, they are kind of Arabic. You understand? So some of our customary laws, due to the fact that we're trading with the Arabs and all that, we incorporated it into our customary law. But that does not mean that Yoruba as a civilization and Sharia law, that's a bloody lie.
Okay, so Jide,
and that was what.
Okay, Jide.
Let him finish now.
Let me finish now.
Allow him to finish. Allow him, please. Allow him to finish, please.
You have a
Jide, go on.
We'll play around. Calm down. So Jide, you have a tendency of when we're talking about something this
Forefathers moderate now. Somebody was speaking and he was interrupted.
Be fair. Allow him to finish. You always ask for people to let you finish.
Forefathers, he was done. There's nothing else to say.
I was not done. I've not finished.
You said it was a lie.
He's telling you that he's not done.
Did not have Sharia.
Don't do this now. You are the only Muslim here. Don't do this.
Let me tell you what happened at that time. Let me tell you. I've read about this thing, the history of Islam in Yoruba.
How do you know I'm a Muslim? But because you want to talk.
Jide, go on. We're listening.
I have families that are Muslims.
No, I'm talking about forefather because you just want to talk and show us his January nonsense.
I said I thought you are the only Muslim. Let him finish. We appreciate your.
I'm not going to take too long because
you're
saying these things, and it's a very wrong point. See, it was like that in so many parts of Africa. They would trade with the Arabs and they will exchange linguistics. Some parts of legal system, not like they're imposing Sharia law, but it's just natural. You exchange culture, you exchange languages, you exchange so many things, ideas. So because of that, they incorporated some of those things in our customary law. The way we punished people, the way we treated our women was completely different. It was not Sharia law in any way. Our women had dignity, number one. I'm not saying Arab women don't have dignity. What I'm saying is our women, when they were treated, it was
they don't have dignity. Call it what it is.
Yes, they do. Can we stop that? This is not the real point.
So what I'm saying is the way we treated our women, we treated our women properly. Like our women were treated the right way compared to what was done in the Islamic world. It's completely different. Even marriage and every other form of our culture was not Sharia. You understand? There were some little things, maybe inheritance and some other few things that were gotten from the Arabs and North Africans. But that does not mean we adopted Sharia law. We did not adopt Sharia law. And as a result of that, after colonialism, those vestiges of what we got from that time, we still practice it up to today. That does not mean that Yoruba land.
I really
don't take this out of context because you and that guy, you guys kept saying that and you drove me crazy.
Jide. It is always good, right? When you when you don't know you don't have an idea about something. Stop letting your emotions dictate, and then you bring it and pretend it's an intellectual fact. The truth and the fact of the matter is Sharia law has been in certain parts of Yoruba land since the early 18th to late 19th century, up until today. Do you know?
Yes, that's Kwara, and I'll talk about the story of Kwara. I'll talk about the story of Kwara. Once mention Kwara, right? I will talk about the story of Kwara.
You've never heard me. If you listen throughout today,
but that was what your boss said. That was what your mentor said.
Not once.
He said it. He said Kwara State. He said Kwara.
Not once did you hear me mention Kwara. Not once throughout today. I mentioned.
Just explain your points. You're not trying to bash me. Explain your points.
How am I bashing you if I said at no point did I mention Kwara? Where's the personal bashing in that?
Just make your point. Try to be succinct.
Can you share an evidence? Can you share any evidence to back your claim that Sharia law has been in Nigeria prior to 1999?
What you said was wrong, but you said that you're saying the truth.
So let me talk. Take your emotions and...
Can you share an evidence indicating that Sharia law has been in Nigeria prior to 1999?
Yes, in Ede.
Okay, share it, please.
I don't have to share. You have Google in front of you. You can
No, I
type in.
only see October 27,
This is what you
1999.
do. This is what you do.
Okay,
This is what
now
you do. You can
from
easily.
okay, let me clear
Fathers,
something. Let me
that
clear
is talking
something.
about is one of the
Because
most
while you guys
one
were
of the most
discussing
liberal
this,
sounds you can think
let's try
of.
to keep it. Let's try to keep it
And
civil. See, let's try to keep it civil. Today, let's try to
Is
enforce
there Sharia Court
learning.
in Eddie or
Let's
no?
try to enforce learning.
I've been there before. There's no
Okay,
Sharia law.
I don't care
DMO,
if you've been
can
there.
we stop? I will be putting people backstage now.
What does that been there?
We have to start to we have to try to learn something here today.
Does that even?
Okay, I speak the truth. You're talking too much. I'm going to put you backstage. So, from what I can find so far, there is no evidence that there was Sharia law in Yoruba areas 100 years ago. Maybe there was Islam, but no evidence of Sharia law there. I don't know whether you disagree with that. Do you disagree? Yes or no? I speak the truth.
If you will, you know what? I'm gonna try this one more time, and if you guys will,
you could just say yes or no. And
no.
It's
not a yes or no question. You can't ask me a question that desires and that requires an explanation, and then you say it's a yes or no.
No, it doesn't need an explanation. It's
yes,
whether
it does require an explanation. If I've been saying the same thing,
let me hear the explanation.
Let me talk. Can you let me talk? If we're saying, and we've been saying this over and over and over again, and we're mentioning towns and we're mentioning provinces, and you are coming and saying, I'm checking, it's not there. Kenneth's playing around
I
saying,
speak the truth. I said something, you asked for proof. I provided a proof. You said something, I asked for proof. You asked me to go and search. You see,
our time today.
You made up stories here, and I asked for proof. You asked me to go and search. But when I made my own, I provided my proof. Can you prove? Can you prove to us?
Every other person. Kenneth, please, I'm getting fed up with this. Stop talking about every other thing. He said that Yoruba people are practicing Sharia 100 years ago or not. It's very, very simple. If you want to explain some parts, even if it's some parts, it doesn't matter. If some parts are practicing it, even if just one village is practicing Sharia, I will accept it that some parts of Yoruba is practicing Sharia. But is there any evidence for that? That's what I'm asking you.
So this is what we're gonna do, okay? This is what we're gonna do again. And I promise this will be the last time because I don't have time for this nonsense. I have fun with the other thing. This other nonsense, I don't have time for this childish. Stop being feminine. Just relax. Pick when you're being childish. So if you have a pen, okay, you have paper next to you. If you don't, make use of your head and your brain, because I don't know if this is a comprehension issue or people just want to play games on here. I mentioned, just like Dr. Perry did, he didn't even do it. I came on here and I mentioned Ede. What is Jide's counter argument? I've been to Ede. Who gives a shit where you've been to? It's either Sharia law was being practiced in Ede or it wasn't. It's either Lagos State has Sharia law or it doesn't through the ISP. So you cannot come now and say this thing don't exist in Yoruba land. Nobody said as a whole on blanket Yoruba land that Sharia doesn't exist. It does exist in certain parts, in certain towns, and they've been.
Can you show us a proof that it existed?
Can I say something, please?
Go ahead, Tony. Like this is not making sense.
I am going to Google and I want to read something. According to available information, Islam and consequently Sharia law likely reached Yoruba land in Nigeria around 14th century, primarily through trade routes with the Mali Empire during the reign of Mansa Musa, bringing it into contact with the Yoruba people. However, the exact date of its introduction is difficult to pinpoint due to gradual nature of its spread. Muslim traders from North Africa and Mali played a crucial role in introducing Islam to Yoruba land, and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know if that helps.
The link, if you have the link, you send it because so I can get a context. From what I can see here, it says, yes, the town of Ede, located in the present-day Osun State, Nigeria, is historically a Yoruba settlement with a notable Muslim population. While Islam played a significant role in the town's cultural and religious life over 100 years ago, there is no evidence that Sharia law was formally practiced as the primary legal system in Ede. So maybe not the primary legal system.
Let me give you the link. What I did was I went to Google and I searched when did Sharia law come into Yoruba land, Nigeria. So maybe you can get that information.
Okay. That kind of question.
Now why you're
Nigerians will ask? Google will give you the Nigerian answer.
now why you're doing that? Why you're doing that, forefathers? I want to. You said something about the Sudan and I think half of Europe was contesting, and I just want to reiterate what you said that in the Sudan, even as we speak, black people of black African descent are being harassed, they are being killed, particularly in the Darfur area, the Nuba Mountains, and the Blue Nile. Because even though South Sudan has gone, which is predominantly black and Christian and animist, you still have a part of the present Sudan, okay, the Darfur area, even in Khartoum, the Darfur has oil, and that's where they brought in Janjaweed in the year from 2000, year 2000. To intimidate, harass, kill, rape, women who are from African descent.
Put your camera on.
But Tony, I didn't dispute that. What I disputed was Kenny's assertion that it was being targeted, not as you said, against blacks and Arabs, which we didn't get to speak on because, of course, forefathers keeps talking and talking. But Kenny said it was Christians versus or Muslims versus Christian, and this is what we were trying to say. Like, well, it's really not.
No, it wasn't.
That's
It
not what I said.
wasn't. The issues there.
I did not say that.
The
It is up.
there are three critical. There are three critical issues in the Sudan crisis. I'm talking about Sudan without South Sudan. Okay. If you go to the history of the Sudan, you find out. In fact, I think not much has been written about the trans-Saharan slave trade because we talk so much about the transatlantic. But nobody has actually gone to take the statistics of the blacks that were taken through the Trans-Sahara to North Africa and to the Middle East. Now, it's huge from the figures that we have gotten. And the question they have asked, where are they? Because that slavery was even worse than that of the transatlantic slave trade. They were castrated, they couldn't multiply, they were used, as they were treated even not as slaves, they were as subhuman. So you find out that a lot of them, were totally wiped out. Now, those who managed to survive and are assimilated up till today in Mauritania, down to the Sudan, because you had leaders like Sadiq Al-Mahdi, you have Omar Bashir, and even Dr. El Turabi, who were extremists and who, of course, that Sudan, the population is predominantly Arab and Islam. So there were people who actually, unfortunately, you have oil in the black-dominated areas in Darfur and in South Sudan, which eventually left. So even now, part of the problem that Sudan has is to manage the rebellion in the Darfur region, where you still have a good percentage of black people. They have been crying, they have been wanting to pull out from the Sudan. So what forefathers was saying, which I concur with and is true, is that those minorities that are left now in the Sudan are not finding it easy. But it's not a Christian Muslim thing. It's basically three things: it's racial, it's oil, and it's Islam.
Got it right. So that is the point I was trying to highlight here. That
and the target is for them to take control of the oil.
Stop this now. You do this all the time. The moment I want to talk about the topic, you interrupt me. I don't like it.
I think I was having a lag. I didn't know you were talking.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Because this is a very, very critical point. Because if our black Muslims are busy killing other black Muslims in Nigeria, but while they are busy killing other black people in Sudan because they are not Arabs, maybe they should see that what they are doing is wrong in Nigeria. Because sooner or later, it's going to be their turn to turn Arab. If you are not Arab, you die.
forefathers, they have been Arabized. You know, they have been Arabized, just like their color. They've been Arabized because I mean they are not they don't call themselves Africans, but because they are black, they're Arabs. You see them even in when they play soccer and all that. They're Arabs, they're black people, they have been there, their great grandfathers and so on have been there. They have assimilated into the culture. But the part of the problem is that they don't want them. They don't want them.
It's not just Sudan.
Yes, Sudan. Yes, Sudan. Yes, Sudan.
Even in Mauritania, they still practice that slavery.
Yes, they do in Mauritania. They do in Mauritania, yes.
Now, there's a caste system towards black people in Mauritania. Egypt. I don't want to go into Egypt. Egypt is one of the most painful stories that I had. I don't want to go into that one. Egypt story. How they reprogrammed the history of Egypt and made it to be an Arab thing. And the real indigenous Egyptians, they pushed them down south. I don't want to go into that one.
No, go into it when you go into the fact that there's also a caste system in Nigeria.
So caste system.
Yeah.
Caste system at least is within the same race. I'm not.
No,
what I'm talking about here is another whole civilization and a whole race.
It has been abolished.
Something I don't subscribe to.
It has been abolished.
You know, I admit that is that, but that's not the point. This is a greater threat. This is a greater threat. Something that is happening. See, you know, when family members are fighting, that's family members fighting. When strangers show up, you are supposed to get your act together and face the stranger. The problem with the Africans right now, we are not doing that, and we are forgetting that those same people are killing our people right now. They are killing people that look like you, even if you are practicing their faith. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of religion is that?
That is why we are advocating. Forefathers. That's why we are advocating for all of us, especially the Southern Christians, to come together and reject these people. Their agenda is cruel. Their agenda is wicked. Their agenda is devilish. We should come together and stay away from these people. Let's join hands together and stay away from these people. Let them keep their religion, because I know their target is the crude oil in the south. Once they capture that crude oil, we are finished. We are doomed. This is what they are doing. So let's, as fast as possible, as early as possible, get away from these people.
Okay, but if that's your cry,
if you like,
wouldn't
stay there and be claiming one Nigeria, one Nigeria. They will consume all of us.
Islam, that's the nonsense they are doing.
Can I make this point?
If your claim is that they want to take all the oil, at the same time, we have agitations from all over the South saying the North already controls the oil. So which is it? Do they own all the oil in Nigeria, or are they aiming to take all the oil when they force all of you into becoming Muslims? But you cannot be both at the same time.
So can I make this point?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I asked a question, and the reason for the question is to connect the dots. Looking at our neighbors, the intent of Sharia law in Nigeria, then the question we need to ask ourselves is the Sharia law itself, what is the source? Because I heard Dr. Perry mention that, we should go away with Western laws. Then if we are going to go away with Western laws, even like my man, half of Turkey is in Europe. Sorry, I'm just like he mentioned, some Muslim dominated countries are using both secular and Sharia law. And if there's a point that we do away with Sharia law, then we should understand what is the source of the Sharia law. Because, okay, for example, where I'm resident, I have Muslims from other parts of the country, and I've asked similar question. We've had this discussion, and they've given me a very good point of where Sharia law is from. And one thing I've always done is when I meet Muslims from Nigeria, especially those that advocate for Sharia law, I always love to ask the same question. What is the source of Sharia law? Maybe we can start the debate from there, then have a mature conversation around the need. Like I mentioned before, most Muslim in Oyo State, and I can share videos where most Muslims are saying, no, we do not want Sharia law. Why some smaller section are saying we want Sharia law. And the question we've asked, what is the source of Sharia law? If you guys want it, what is the source? And how do you think is going to address the issue on ground in Nigeria, especially in the current dispensation?
Go ahead. I think DMO haven't said anything since he joined us. Thank you for your patience. As you can see, some people here are incapable of explaining simple concepts concisely. So you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you
What do
very
you
much.
this?
Thank you, Forefather. Happy New Year to those who have seen 2025 already. Yeah, this topic, I suppose it could be quite sensitive, and I don't want to be used ad hominems, but I can't stay away from it. I've met a lot of Muslims, and there was a time I tried to convert to take their Shahada and all that, but thankfully I kind of researched the religion a bit. I have a question for half of Turkey, Europe. I suppose Sharia is a religious law, and you're meant to follow your Quran. Now, can you explain to me
Sorry,
chapter
you don't.
9? Sorry? You're meant to follow the
Explain,
tenets of your Quran.
explain chapter 9, but verse what?
Yeah, can you just explain a bit of chapter 9, verse 29 for
Okay,
me?
so this what I'm
When
not gonna. Okay, so this
if
what
you
we're
link
gonna
it
do.
with the
First,
Sharia.
with all due respect, you don't know what religion I profess. You don't know what creed I follow. Okay, just I can speak about the Bible all day. I can speak very good about the Torah, and I can do very well with African religions.
But you've never
But
defended the Bible.
and
You only defend the Quran.
well, that's not true. I've quoted the Bible 1,000 times. Okay, so
Defending,
and
not quoting.
can it's okay. Can I please speak and stop trying to throw me off? Stop being childish, please. Thank you. So, with all due respect, I am not an Islamic scholar, and I'm not in the business of. And even if I was, which I understand what you're trying to do, even if I was, I would not engage you in that, because this is what happens with things like this. These are very disingenuous questions, okay? So you come with a question that you already have a presupposed answer to. So say I was to tell you that this is what you are asking, and this is my understanding of that text. You already have an answer. You would come in here, it is something that you will counteract and say, and we're going to go back and forth, especially just your pronouncements alone lets me know that you are not even versed.
How
And this
can
is
we
with
have
all
a
due respect.
conversation when you
Oh,
shy away from
yeah, you
responding
don't,
to others, but you always ask others to explain?
so
But when
you
you are
don't,
asked a question, you deviate from it and
so
you start being
okay,
condescending.
so
Answer the
so
simple question. Let's have a conversation.
so DMO, so Ken is an expert in that. For example, he will ask you a question that he already has an answer to, and which is what
How
you're
do you
doing.
know that I
So
already know the answer?
if we want to talk about chapter 9, verse 2, I will gladly give you the floor. You talk about it. Tell us what you think about it. That's fine. But we're not here talking about the
Okay, that
Bible.
means you've
We're,
never asked any
not
question
here.
here,
We're not here
and
right now.
nobody is going to respond to your question anymore.
What we're doing is
No,
we're
can we
talking.
do that then? Since you don't answer question, nobody is going to answer your question.
DMO, so what we're doing is we're not in a religious debate. We're talking about politics. That's what we're talking about. We're not here to talk about the validity or the sanctity of the Quran or the Bible. But if that is what you guys want to do, I'll gladly listen to it. Let's keep on with the back. But if we want to stick to the topic, which is law, the legality of Sharia as it affects Nigeria, as it affects West Africa, I'll be glad to engage in that. But I'm not going
Okay.
to deal with disingenuous
So,
questions.
in that sense,
So hold on.
the Sharia Court has been defeated.
Let me take it from here, Kenny.
No Sharia law in Nigeria.
The context of this in Nigeria itself, from what I gather, if you are a Muslim in Nigeria and you are in any of those states that they practice Sharia, you don't necessarily explicitly, it's not stated that you have the option to opt out of the Sharia state law, which in the customary courts that are in the other states, you are allowed to opt out anytime in and out, based on your belief. But the Sharia one cemented it in. Like everything they do, it's
Exactly.
also very, very strategic, never to step backward, always.
Which part of the Constitution does it say that?
The 1999 Constitution.
Check it out yourself. You've read it. No.
Yeah, because I know what section 38 says. I know what section.
Are Muslims allowed to opt out?
You just asked me a question.
Before you start talking, I don't want your. See, I'm not going to again. Enough.
I know what section.
I don't want your witty waffle all over the place. So, are Muslims allowed to opt in or out? Are you? It's a simple question.
It's not a simple question, especially since you do not understand what section of the law talks about it.
See,
so you.
Are they allowed to opt in or out? It's a simple question.
The legality. Can you let the other person talk? We're not talking about.
Ask you a question. Can you answer DMO's question?
About chemistry.
You just waffle on and on and on. You don't want to answer a simple question. Yes or no?
It is very simple. So you just mentioned a law. You mentioned the law, and I said
that I said in the northern states where Sharia is practiced, are Muslims allowed to opt out?
No, that wasn't what you said. You mentioned a law.
Customary law in the South, so they're allowed to opt out of it.
You forefathers mentioned a law.
Customary court.
You mentioned a law.
What law are you talking about?
So I asked you, what parts of the Constitution?
Are we still having this conversation? Answer DMO's question.
Back up what you said. Okay. So what I said was, you said I don't understand the Constitution, and I said, well, I understand what Section 38 says. I understand what Sections 271 to 275 to 279. I said I understand what they say.
Okay, you understand. So what is the answer?
You know what? Have fun. You guys. You
don't want to answer the question because you don't like the answer you're about to give.
The question is, I'm explaining to you what the Constitution says.
You don't want to answer it because you don't like the answer.
You just said, why would I like an answer that favors my position?
Then say it. Are Muslims allowed to opt in or are they not allowed to opt out? I mean, are they allowed to opt out?
The other person. I know you probably ate a parrot.
I think the truth is practicing takia here. They will not allow you to hold them on the blockers.
Jesus Christ!
This is what they are doing. Very slippery. Very slippery.
Can we move on? This discussion is taking. We spent quite a lot of time talking about this in the previous.
Hold on.
Can we move on?
You don't want to answer. You don't want to answer it.
Why would I want to answer if I mention the sections of the
because it's a yes or no and you are refusing to say it.
No, I said sections 275 to 279 and sections 38.
You're not gonna get an answer. Don't worry.
That you can opt out. What part of that don't you understand?
You are seeing small, like very minute, very like little of what Islam is. Don't worry,
clear. That's all I wanted you to say. If you are saying you believe that Muslims can opt out of it,
you're not listening.
You think I was stupid to make a U-turn from Islam?
Talking over me now. I want to be fair to him. I am trying to listen to you, or you're not giving me the answer.
Because you are not willing to listen, and I think comprehension is an issue with you. So
okay,
I keep
saying, it's not me on top of it. It's all good. See, point is a simple thing. You could have just said no. You could have just said no. They are not allowed to opt out, or yes, they are allowed to opt out. Simple.
You mentioned the Constitution, and I'm telling you what part of the Constitution is that. You said in the North, and I'm telling you that. Look at him, ready to talk again. And I said sections 38 and 275 to 279, but you're not listening because you already have a preconceived notion of your answers.
That is why I'm seeking your answer.
What is wrong with you guys?
That's why I'm asking you.
Fathers, can I answer the question? Can I answer the question for you?
Somebody actually say that we are all Olodos wasting our time.
Can I answer the question for you, Fathers?
Please answer.
Yes. Okay. I'll answer the question in two ways. I know people who were Muslims, and when they became they left and they became Christians, there were serious sanctions. They faced very serious sanctions. So I want to suspect that if you are a practicing Muslim, and you don't want to be tried, by in a Sharia court, or you don't want there's going to be sanctions, because Sharia actually, is part and parcel of the Islamic practices and faith. If you look at the origin of the Sharia, they trace it to the Quran, they trace it to the doings of the Prophet, the Sunnah, because he was settling cases for them in Mecca, after he succeeded. There were various wars
Sorry,
that they
I'm not
fought.
stopping you. Who was the prophet? Sorry.
Prophet Muhammad.
No, he's not a prophet.
Hold on. You are not. You are not. Hold on. You are looking for trouble. He
Yes,
is
so
a. Yes,
he's not a prophet. Never was
yes.
a prophet. Let them,
Okay. For
if he's a prophet,
wait
let them show us
now.
in the book.
Wait now.
Both of them are the same.
Listen. Let's not. This is very sensitive. To the Muslims, he's a prophet. So
No,
you are
in the Bible,
hold on.
Bible
You
did
are
not call
no.
him a prophet.
Don't do this.
Hold on. Now you are a Christian. You are a Christian. The
They
Christians.
say that in their Quran that
Wait
Jesus
now.
is not God in
Wait.
Quran. So Muhammad is not a prophet in the Bible.
No. In the Quran, Jesus is a prophet, and Nabi Isa. That's their own.
No, in the Quran they say that Jesus is not God. Then
No, that's
in
a
our
different thing.
Bible,
Oh,
our Bible did not refer to Muhammad as a prophet.
Can I leave this thing? We are not speaking what we are talking. I'm talking about the Quran. For the Muslim, Muhammad is a prophet. He came after Jesus. That's their understanding. That's how it is.
Will they accept? Will they agree with Christians that Jesus is God?
Not every Christian
That's a
believes.
different thing you are bringing. Leave that. Let's not go into that.
Let's
go ahead.
Not every Christian believes that Jesus is God. When I used to go to
No.
church,
If you don't believe,
my
you are.
denomination did not believe that Jesus is God.
Excuse me. I speak the truth. Please, let's not reduce this thing to Christian Muslim thing, because So let's not. What we're discussing
not all of us
is
believe that Jesus was God.
you are entitled to your you are entitled to your belief. Some people don't even believe. Some people don't even believe that there's God. So let's leave that not an issue.
Not everybody is a Trinitarian, right or wrong.
I don't know about that.
Not every Christian.
I don't know about that. I am a Christian. I believe in Trinity. So
you think every Christian believes in that Jesus is God? Are you going to really tell us that?
Please stop that. Let's listen to.
Oh my God. Well, that's not the issue. That's not the issue we're talking about now.
I mean, the mirror is on our faces now.
You see,
does every Christian believe that Jesus is God?
That's not the issue that I'm tackling now.
It is the issue. It's a simple question.
No, you're going to take me off tangent.
No, just answer him. No. Why can't you just answer questions straight? Not all of them believe. Move on.
Okay.
Carry on. Disagree, and he's not going to be true.
if you say so. So the Sharia is part of the practices of Islam. So every because it encompasses, the way they do things, the way they live, and so on and so forth. So that's understood. But you see, what we fail to understand is that in the Muslim sect, in Islam, there are sects, just like you have in Christianity that half of Europe is trying to allude to. You have all kinds of sects, others, Tijaniya, Ahmadiyya, you have the Sunnis, you have the Wahhabis, you have all of them, even though they are Muslims, but there are some that are very radical, there are some that are liberal, and all these things affect their worldview about how Islam should be practiced. And so we must understand that. So whereas you find some Islamic teachers, when they teach, they are radical in their teaching, and then you have some who are liberals, and they question some of the things that those radicals teach. They tell you that those things are not there, because there are two things that form the entire Muslim worldview: the Quran, and then the doings of the Prophet, which is encapsulated in the Hadith. So all the other things are the things that Malams think and they teach. Okay, and those ones are subjective because one Malam will teach you this, another one will teach you a different thing, and so on and so forth. So all those things have become a problem, a challenge. So the Sharia, has its laws, the way it should operate. It has a way it should operate. And the interpretation and the adjudication of that law sometimes, vary from place to place. I think that was part of what the doctor was trying to say, that there is the practice, there's the law itself, and then there's the practice. And some of the issues that they are encountering now is in the practice of the Sharia. So some of them have raised questions.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you made a lot of
you're
sense.
making
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
So let's bring in DMO. I don't know. Do you have anything to contribute other than the question, and so that we can go to Jide and Owibo. Welcome, Owibo from Ghana, and obviously Ghanaians are envious of Nigerians. They are just always envious. It's always like that. It's okay. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, do you have anything to add to this DMO? Because the conversation I'm trying
Thank
to
you
make,
very much.
you
Thank you,
fine.
forefathers, for calling me back. I suppose I wasn't surprised that my question wasn't answered anyway. But what little I'm just gonna say, Nigeria is a secular country. It's meant to be guided by secular law. There shouldn't be anything religious, any religious law in Nigeria. That's all.
Okay, yeah, there shouldn't be really. And how do we roll it back now? I think I should argue that. How do we? Is it possible to
Forefathers,
roll this back so that we actually become like Turkey? Turkey is almost 99%
Forefathers,
Muslim.
forefathers,
Yeah,
we can actually
they
create.
is secular.
Yeah,
Turkey
we
is
can
so
actually
far.
create. What they call it? I've forgotten the name. Where we can all begin to sign. Nigerian youth, Nigerian citizens who campaign against Sharia law. That Sharia law
Yeah,
should be eradicated from Nigeria.
you
We
have
should begin to
we should
campaign.
have one main
We
universal
should
law,
campaign against
and the
that.
rest has to.
Yeah.
My thing is, it should not be criminal, and they should not
for,
impose it on states like that. It should only
Forefather.
be civil. If you want to do it at all, only civil.
forefathers, you see, the problem that we're having now, I would say 60% is coming from the government. If you say that Nigeria is a secular state, although I doubt that, even though it's probably in the constitution, for my thinking, Nigeria is a multi-ethnic and multi-religious country. If you
Exactly.
say that Nigeria is a secular state, then the government has no business paying money for people to go to pilgrimage in Mecca. They have absolutely no business. If you say Nigeria is a secular state, you have absolutely no right, going by the constitution, paying money for Christian pilgrims to go to Jerusalem. Meanwhile, you are not paying anything for people who want to go to Tokoto, for their pilgrimage. You are not paying money for those who don't even who are atheists or
We
who
want
are
to go and perform
whatever.
our ritual
Yes, so you don't give them any money. So
as if we are not existing.
yes, because it's their money that you're using. So it doesn't make sense. So that's why I say Nigeria is not a secular state, because if it's secular, then you do secular things. So that's where the problem is coming from. The government should hands off religion. Take religion to the backbone and let the people who are practicing it practice it.
And
You just
also
give the time.
stop using state money to build mosques, national mosques, build
Yes, and all those things.
national Christian center.
Yes, and
Stop
all those
using,
things.
yeah,
Yes, and that's
because
in
nobody has ever
imam
built
cars
temple for
and
us.
pastor's cars, and you don't do that. So you can't be secular and you are doing that. So that's part of where the contradiction is coming from.
Which is what I've been asking all day. I said, what is secularity? And nobody could answer it, because if we want to say something is secular, maybe, and
Now,
this is
what we
where
should be doing
this is
is
where
to
even the
campaign against
Muslims
such
are having
practices that are not supposed to
even the
be in a
Muslims are
secular
having
state.
a problem, because if we accept we are being disingenuous, okay, and we don't want to face the
Can
reality.
I say something
What
about
is the law?
What
What is the law that governs Jide? Like, damn, when did you become like this? So what is the law that governs the Nigerian space? Okay. If we say secularity, we have fashioned our laws, and I'm saying this to you, Tony, because you're very intellectual, obviously, when you choose not to be disingenuous, right? So if we say our laws are fashioned after the United States, which the United States fashioned its laws after that of the English, which the English fashioned its laws after what? Without mincing words, after Christianity, after the Bible. Okay, this is what they did. So our laws in Nigeria that everybody is on here blabbing and screaming and saying circular is actually fashioned and modeled after Christianity. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. And just like forefathers just said, and I've been saying, and I even told Perry, which other states in the Arab region are doing, even Indonesia outside of that region, what they do is they have taken Sharia law and they have kept it on one side, the criminal element of it, which the criminal imposition of sentences, right? But they've dealt with the civil aspects. And this is what will it be a problem? And like Perry rightly said, why would you care if Muslims said we want to be governed under Sharia law to settle disputes like marriage, divorce, inheritance? You can't shake your head, Demo, because for example, in the southeast of Nigeria, where Christianity is prevalent, women do not have the right to inheritance. It is coming now, it is changing a bit, but why would Muslims, where women are given the right to inheritance, for example, I see you stop shaking your head, that's beautiful. So why would women want to subject themselves to your type of
No,
law?
is it not in
Why
the
would
same
women,
Muslim that a woman can be kicked out
why
anytime
would
You
women
see,
want to
the fact
and
that
subject
I kept
remarried
quiet
and
doesn't mean that I can
why
talk.
replaced?
would
You
women
understand?
why
I
would
know
A
you.
women
I
woman
want
know
to
can
how
be
much you are
subject
divorced
trying to
anytime
apply
why
and
would
be
Sharia.
replaced
women
Yes,
without
you
contest.
understand?
why would women want to
That's
subject
not true.
themselves to
I
your
don't
No,
think
type
that's
of
not true. In the
law
southeast,
where
that's not
it's
true.
women
not
There's
true.
in the
actually a
south?
state law
Why would women,
It's
for
I'm
a
not
going to
true.
ask
woman
this
to
question,
inherit things.
this
That's
question.
not true.
Why
That's
would
not true.
Muslim women, for example, that can get justice in an Islamic Sharia court when
No,
it comes to
they don't get justice.
inheritance
What
They
of
kind
get
of justice
marriage,
stoned
do
to
they get?
death.
when it comes
Your
to
They don't
Quran
get
says a
justice.
inheritance,
woman
They
I
get
will
has
ask
stoned
precedence
to
for a
death.
question.
man.
So
They
Don't say
don't
why
get
that.
would
That's not
women
true.
they
in
can be
Islam,
That's
replaced
not true.
anytime.
Women are subjugated in
The,
why
Islam. What
would
are you
in
talking
women,
about?
Islam,
okay,
the
so
That's
Sharia
not
law
true.
stipulates that a
these
man can
subjugated
wake up in
women,
the morning
okay, so these
and
subjugated
decide
women,
to divorce his wife. In Islam, Sharia law stipulates that
One at a
a man
Under
can
the
time.
flog,
Sharia law,
can
a
use
woman
cane,
is
subjugated
under
can
a
use
women,
man.
cane
Okay.
That's
and
what they
why
flog
said
his
would
there.
wife.
these
That's not true.
All right, Jide. Like I said, the question remains: why? How do you think Nigeria, if possible, can roll back the Sharia law in the system? It doesn't have to wipe it out. Just make it more benign, like for family disputes and land issues, and amongst people that agree, all groups should be allowed to opt out of it. That is the minimum that would have been preferred, or completely wipe it out. And the same thing in the south, customary law goes away, everything goes away, and we just make the Nigerian state secular. Um, so how do we do that? No, sorry. You've been talking. Let's
No,
Jide.
no, I've not been talking. No, I've been chipping in, I've not
Yeah,
been talking.
but hold on
No,
now. Let Jide answer the question. So, how do we roll this back? And because right now where we are going, everybody's forming their own different kind of country, different rules, different, which it can survive with, but there has to be a strong center. And I worry that the Sharia law, as a matter of fact, not only me, a lot of people worry about this, that the Sharia law seems to be trying to break that central control
Yeah.
of the state. So how do we roll this back and keep that in check?
Yes, thank you so much, forefathers. Yes, so this is my answer. So first of all, one of the things that I would like to talk about regarding answering this question is, if you look at how other countries have done it, where, for instance, a country
forefather,
that
why
used to
can't I
pay
comment? Why you
justice.
block me from commenting?
Okay. So if you look at an example, like to put things into context, we need to look at countries that used to be religious states and eventually became secular. And you will realize that how they were able to evolve from their far-right religious states to secular states came through revolution. I will give 3 examples. The first one is France. If you look at before the French Revolution, France used to be a monarch in the 18th century. There used to be a monarch, and due to the impact of the merchants, right, there was a revolution. I don't want to go into the story of what happened with that revolution. Due to the effect of the revolution, we could see that was when the beginning of the separation of church and state began. And you see that now, even though France has a rich history of Christianity, France is now strictly a secular state. Another example I'll give is Iran. Not Iran, forgive me, Russia. The Russian Empire used to be a Christian state. In fact, there used to be, the whole of Europe used to be Christendom, right? There used to be a heavy Christian. I'll use Islam as an example too. I'll use Algeria, but before I go to Algeria, I'll talk about Russia. If you look at what happened in Russia in the early 20th century, Russia was a Christian monarch state. They had some Muslim minorities, right? But it was a Christian monarch state. There was a revolution in Russia. I don't want to go into what happened with that revolution, but that revolution also was built under the ideology of a secular ideology of communism. Communism was able to absorb all religions and separate it from what the state should be like. It was under a secular ideology. But what happened was before it got to that point, there was a bloody revolution. Now I'll use Algeria, which is a Muslim, which used to be a French colony, and also there was even an attempt for it to be Islamized like Nigeria, but it failed. Algeria used to be a French colony. Algeria was able to liberate itself from France in the early 19th, I think in the early 1960s. They were liberating themselves from France. However, they still had another virus, just like in Nigeria. It was the radical Islamic.
Dude, what's all these history lessons you be giving? Just
my God.
The point I'm making is,
let me finish, please.
The point, okay, let me continue what I'm saying. So what happened was that radical Islamic political sect, they wanted to Islamize Algeria. They wanted the Sharia, they wanted Algeria to be an Islamic state. So if you look at the 1990s, there was a bloody war in Algeria to whitewash and cleanse off these radical Islamist rebels that they were militants of the Muslim Brotherhood that wanted to Islamize Algeria. And now Algeria, even though it's a mostly Muslim country, it has been able to manage the effect of Sharia and radical Islamic ideologies. So now Algeria basically is a secular state. So what I'm thinking now, let's look at Nigeria. How can Nigeria do that? It has to be through a secular ideological revolution. Either through that, or there have to be a vote, and where we have to reach a consensus of how we have to relate and how we have to rule each other. Either of the two. Either the peaceful way, we have to negotiate and discuss how we are going to rule each other, or through the inevitable way, which many of us don't want, a bloody revolution. That's my answer.
Thank you. Often that's what it tends to come down to. I really wish there is a way to keep this. So far, they've kept it in check because all the states needs to approve these things before it comes to fruition.
Yo, why you block me from commenting, bro?
No. Why would I block you? I never block anybody.
I don't know. So why can't I comment?
I don't know. Maybe YouTube doesn't like you or something.
I want to ask Jack when I'm crap.
I don't know. I don't block anybody. I've never blocked anybody.
Because I'm trying to ask Jack when crack is smoked already in 2025. You know?
So yeah. Okay. So I don't know whether I should ask you this or go to the next person. I think Onwibo hasn't said anything for a long time about this. But is there no way to do it? We have to figure out a way to do it. Because my worry is that the South too is complicit in this. Because this is a democracy we are in. It's a democracy. And democracy means that if you have numbers, you vote for certain things, you get your way.
Yes.
And right now, the North seems to be growing faster. And the South hasn't made any effort to kind of nail it into the constitution so that it's almost impossible, like requiring 2/3 or 90% of the states.
That's why I say, we can actually create a petition right now on this platform and we begin to distribute same link to all platforms. Let's begin to sign against Sharia law in Nigeria. This is what we can do for now, right? I don't think any of us is ready to pick up arms because there's no way you can stop these people now. You can only begin to create this awareness both in diaspora and in Nigeria through petitions. And we can actually find a means of getting it to the National Assembly, submitting it there. Let them see that Nigerians are not accepting this. We're not happy with this.
Let me ask, how many states does it require to make a constitutional amendment? Is it just 50% or 75% of states? How many is
I think it's 2/3, right? 2/3
Forefathers.
I'm not sure, but I think it's 2/3.
It's going to be difficult if you go
Forefathers. Forefathers, let us be. We're dealing here with an issue that is very sensitive. My thoughts are that Nigeria has much more compelling problems, already to let this very emotive and sensitive issue to even cause a deeper gorge in the problems, in the quagmire that we are already in. Listen, let us tell ourselves the truth. The Constitution guarantees everybody the right to practice his religion. And we must not take it away from anybody. But even in doing that, freedom of worship, freedom of speech has its own limits. It's, has its own checks and balances. Where the practice of your religion portends danger to the other person, then that's the issue. Now, the question we have to ask is, why are some people not comfortable with the practice of Sharia? There's something they are seeing. There's something that they're perceiving. How has the practice of Sharia in the states that are currently doing it affected those people who are not Muslims? Or how has it affected the people who are Muslims themselves? Are the Muslims willing to submit themselves to the discipline or sanction that the law of Sharia provides when they fail foul of the law?
Yeah,
I mean, I've not seen a governor who says, I don't want to be tried in a conventional court. Try me, maybe who is charged for stealing, some dollars. I don't want to be tried, in the secular court. I want to be tried in the Sharia court. I've not seen any governor. I've not seen any. Well, not one governor. I've not seen.
Exactly. So I get you in terms of the priorities in terms of within the nation. My concern with this is that at the time when you want to be marching forward in a kind of unified manner, you have to confront some of all these things that could rear its head and cause division among the people. Just like they use tribes to divide us. That somebody would be like, those guys, they don't like your Sharia principles,
So my solution really,
together, they will use it to divide us and do whatever they like with us. So we have to be on the same page on all these things. If it's to be restricted to only those states, I don't think it should be. They should have brought into criminal cases at all.
My suggestion, honestly, would be, maybe to solve this problem, let us go back to regionalism. So let them deal with their issues themselves and not affect all the other parts of the country.
When you say regionalism, are you talking about the 6 geopolitical zones?
No, the way it was before.
I don't do that. Don't do that. When you do that, you sound like those racist old white people that like to go back to the 50s.
No. What I'm saying, listen, we're trying to solve. We're trying to solve a problem. Okay, that is contentious.
It's like the regional system is the golden age
I want to go back to my Midwest. Yes, I say my Midwest, and nobody's going to come to tell me nonsense. Okay, so you go back to your own.
Hold on. If people want to go to see geopolitical zone as regional system, I don't have any problem with that. Personally, I actually think that the states are practically regions on their own right now, where their governors are immune. They do whatever they like in the country. Look at what Errol did with Buhari the other day.
We can't talk about regional system now with the issue on ground. I think the immediate issue now is the introduction of Sharia in Southwest. And these guys are starting from Oyo State. Now, from people on ground, I'm not on ground, I will tell you the truth. From families and members on the ground, Muslims have come out to say no. And when you listen to argument from Muslims that are not from the Southwest or from Oyo State, they are making cases. And it will be good to also listen to the Muslim in Oyo State. And the question, to tie the question that Tony asked, that what has been the benefit of Sharia? Why was it introduced in the first place? Then go back to my first question. Our neighbors.
Ola, how did you manage to start talking again now? Our guy in Ghana hasn't said anything.
Please let me land.
Jagun probably gave him some of his crack.
Okay, Wimo, you have been very patient, but please finish that, or Wimo can say something.
When you amalgamate Tony's question with the question I asked earlier on, why is it that Chad, Niger, that are predominantly Muslim, why have they not practiced Sharia? Then you will begin to extract your answers from it and then query the underlying philosophy or the intent of bringing Sharia to Oyo State. I think in the immediate term, the solution is that whatever intent they have with Sharia law should be put on hold. Let's even evaluate what has been the benefit of Sharia in the North. A lot of the disadvantage and issue people have seen with Sharia has been put forward. Can we critically analyze those issues? If this guy can now look at it and look at how Sharia has been done, because Jide made mention of Algeria, the same thing with Tunisia. Tunisia as of today is not practicing Sharia law. Implementation has been one of the fundamental issues. If you go deep into studying why Sharia has not been practiced
listen,
in all
this is
these
very
areas.
disingenuous, okay? Because Sharia has been practiced in places like Kuwait. When you people keep pulling up places that do not practice.
See,
I'm
using my neighbors,
successful
and
countries like
people
Kuwait,
that share the same skin with me as an example first, before I will go with Kuwait are Arab. Now, if you want to bring it to historically, Dr. Perry did mention about Kemet. He talked about Kemetic laws. Now, let's lay the foundation. The Kemetic laws are different from the laws of Moses. In Kemet, Moses' laws was part of the laws that was used in Kemet. But over time, there were other laws that were added because the Kemet are known for their philosophy. They are the Egyptians of today, before the Arab came and conquered them.
Boy, here we go.
Now, if we go to, no, you will not see, try to listen to other people and extract some fact from them. If we are not open to debate and listening to other people, there's no way we can learn. If we talk about history, this is the history. And I ask you, what is the sources of Sharia law? And I'm going to, since Dr. Perry laid a foundation of Sharia law to the laws of Moses, and I said it's not only the laws of Moses.
Hold on.
Dig deeper.
Nigerian law is fashioned because, see,
Can I finish? Can I finish before you jump in? Can I
which
finish?
laws? We're not listening to laws about Kemet. Okay, we all know these things. Okay, so
No,
which
because
laws?
the
Which laws are
the
Can you
Nigeria's?
allow
source
him
you
to
guys
finish?
put
Can you
forward,
allow him
Nigeria's
to finish?
constitution
source,
today is
Dr.
fashioned
Forefathers,
Obere,
after
please
which
do your
laws?
job now.
Yeah. No.
now,
Or give
now,
me the button. Let me do
One
the
mic.
job.
you guys,
Leave it. One mic. I
if
wish
you
I can
guys
give you the
have,
mic so you can keep them in check so that I
no,
just
if
ask
Yeah.
you guys
two
put out the
questions.
information that
Kenny is
the
crazy.
Sharia law, one of the sources of Sharia law is the laws of Moses, and you're saying, okay, my custom is part of the laws of Moses, and I'm putting it to you that go to the sources, ask the Arab guys, they would illustrate the sources of Sharia law. Sharia law also stems from the tradition and customs of the Arabs. If you go
No,
deeper into the
all
provisions
I
of
know it
Sharia
doesn't.
law, you will see all those things.
All I
And
know
there are
it doesn't.
certain,
It does, please.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so
okay,
I don't know
I'll
how much
listen to
you.
you.
I don't know how much you like to pretend that you know about Islam, and you need to stop pouting today. You look like a angry 5-year-old baby. So
Nadia, can I
I
go?
want.
Can I go on? Can I
So
can I
Why is
so
he
can I
No,
make
being
my
no.
point?
Let
condescending
him
Let
now?
me just make my point. Let me make my
Forefathers,
point. I
please,
beg,
can you
please.
mute
I
this guy?
cannot
We don't
continue to
have
listen
we
to all
don't
this
have
back and forth here.
Forefathers,
Let me go
they,
on with my own because you have spoken.
Okay,
Half Europe,
let's
you've
allow
spoken
Weymouth speak.
for
Yeah,
quite
he's
some
been very
time, so
patient.
nobody. Let me just speak my own before. And Nadia, please, I urge you to protect me as I make my submission. I don't
you're a
want
soldier.
any.
What do you need protection for?
Anybody
I don't.
that
I'm a
interrupts
retired.
him
I'm a
backstage.
retired. I don't have my weapons. I don't have
Mm.
my weapons. I don't have my accoutrement to engage you, so I cannot fight you. I'm a
You
civilian,
should.
just like
You
you
should
now.
try. You'll try.
So thank you so much. So you see, I do not know the reason why Nigerians and Nigeria will always look for retrogressive thing, methodologies of solving problems.
Exactly.
You see, in 1999, I was in active service, one mechanized infantry division in Kaduna when Ahmed Yerima of Zamfara State introduced Sharia. Do you know the people, foreign country that supported him, gave him so much billions of dollars to implement that in Nigeria? That was Saudi Arabia, as alleged. Turkey was there as well. But my problem as at that time was, why will Obasanjo, knowing fully well the problems, how problematic that is, allowing it to stand January 2000? I was the Sharia incident and the riot that was
My,
so
my
brutal.
brother, sorry.
What happened to him?
Sorry, my
Is there?
brother. Don't be angry.
You see?
Ahmed did not introduce. He did not introduce Sharia. Sharia has been there. He introduced Sharia as a state religion. So that's the issue. That's what I just wanted to correct.
Thank you.
No,
Okay,
not as a
you
state
see, no,
religion. What he introduced was
Can we just let him finish his submission,
the
please? Let him
criminal
finish his submission.
element of it.
He
That
actually
was what.
begged that you protect.
okay. Now, you see, Uncle, what I'm trying to say is this: Sharia. See, throughout, the reason why Sharia did not come out as it is now was we were there. We were controlling the affairs of Nigeria. No matter how bad the military was, okay, we were controlling things. We would tell you whether to practice Sharia or not, irrespective of the Abuja Declaration, irrespective of 1971 or 70 something, participation and the position observatory position Nigeria has in OIC. And when Babangida ratified it, I think 1986, as a full-blooded member of OIC, the military were controlling things. We wouldn't allow you to do anything that is going to destabilize Nigeria, as at that time, irrespective of how bad the soldiers were. Now I ask you, why couldn't they, some of the governors who are Muslims, pure Muslims, introduce Sharia as a state law when the military were still in place? Why couldn't they do that? Power moved away. Power came to South. There is no other point in order to create disadvantages and all kinds of things. Ahmed Sherima introduced it immediately. The scepter of authority was handed over to a Yoruba man from the southern part of Nigeria. We saw all those things happening as at that time. And I am vividly going to tell you people how these things happened at that time. The support that man garnered was so heavy. Do you know the number of people that lost their lives during that Sharia, riot in the entire North? Do you know how many businesses that were destroyed? How will you introduce something that that is meant to take care of you, your religious belief, tradition, and custom, and you will allow it to affect me? That is not. I have nothing to do with Islam. Why will you do that? If Nigeria is a secular state on paper, as the constitution says, why will someone now introduce a law that is going to, disadvantage me in the state that you say that everybody has the right to live, do your, religion, everything, businesses, anywhere in the country? Why will you make a law, a state law that looks so superior than the 1999 constitution? Why will you allow that to happen? Because they did these things. What you see, there is a lot of Nigerians, I will say this to them, and I don't mean to denigrate anybody. What Nigerian, Muslims probably is the extremist aspect of Islam. I have been to Saudi Arabia. I have been to Dubai. I've escorted Mohammed Abacha to Saudi Arabia, Mecca. When you go there, you see them. And for those of you that will argue, oh, why are they not doing the same thing? Where you have 99.9% Islamic, you don't need to introduce Sharia because everybody agrees to the tenet of Islam and their cultures and traditions. So what is happening in Nigeria is that you have virtually more people, more Muslims in Nigeria, and they scattered right across the federation everywhere. And you have this tussle, which religion will rule the other. That is what is going on in Nigeria. That is what is going on. The criminal aspect of Islam is what the extremist view of Islam is what they are introducing in Nigeria. And is it not shameful? Is it not shameful that Nigeria cannot even manufacture anything with the kind of resources God has given to Nigeria? Nigeria should be exploring space. Nigeria should be exploring, enter into space industry. Nigeria should be a country with the kind of human resources that God has given you, the natural resources God has given you to lead even most of the European countries. But all the time, we will come out here and be doing things, introducing things that will bring you 30, 40 years backward. Tell me, which country where the Islam come from are amputating their people when they steal fowl? Go to Zamfara State, they are amputating people when they steal fowl. But politicians of the same, religion will steal billions and nothing will happen to them. Like someone said here, they will never be tried, allow themselves to be put under Sharia court. They won't allow that. It is only the talakawas that they are using, and to use it to destroy the democracy, so-called democracy Nigeria is practicing, if at all is democracy. So that is what they are doing. We saw it. Look, let me ask you again. The army, the military hierarchy was dominated by Muslims as at that time of northern extraction. Why couldn't they introduce Sharia to states that time? Why did they leave it?
God bless
Why
you.
did they leave it? So these are some of the things we need to ask ourselves. I want a Nigeria, if it is really going to work, that is going to go into, productivity instead of retrogressiveness. That is the only thing I want to see in that country. But if religion is going to be a tool to destroy people and to destroy their lives, my brothers and sisters, I will tell you that it is better to destroy that foundation that holds Nigeria together so that everybody will go to their home and region and practice their religion. If I want to come into your region, then I will come there and obey all your rules over there. So you will not use your religion to intimidate those people that are minority in those areas where these religions have been practiced. I yield here.
Thank you for that. I don't think that religion is probably going to be our biggest undoing, because I don't think when they came before they used religion. It's mostly tribe they used to divide us. But I guess religion doesn't help when we have different views on it the way
So
we are having today.
just to add to what you said, forefathers, and just what even Awinbon said, he made a lot of good points, because one of the major issues is that we forget to realize that even during colonialism, there was a recipe of religious separation of those territories. So what do I mean? When Nigeria was about to get a so-called independence, what the British did was they gave power to the north. So even the southern leaders, I think it was Awinbon that said that thing. That even when Obasanjo ruled Nigeria in 1999, it was complicit when they implemented Sharia law in Zamfara state. That's because his election as the president of Nigeria was validated by the Northerners, because the Northerners, the structure of political leadership is still being controlled by the North under the supervision of the British. And that has not gone in Nigeria up till now. And that's the reason why they can try to implement expansionist Sharia policy in Nigeria aggressively. But I'll stop there for now.
So what I think, what I think, 1 minute. What I think, if you ask me, is that the force to introduce Sharia law in Nigeria, if you check the history, they did it under Obasanjo. Now they are trying it under when you have a Southern president, a president from the Southern extraction. Now, if you ask yourself, you will almost want to conclude that this is a political tool that has been used by the North. Even if I don't want to say this, that would be my conclusion.
Okay, so let me just quickly say something. People
you see what happened during Obasanjo?
Under the current.
That is what is trying to be replicated now.
Okay, like when your guys are
trying to use the Sharia law as a bargaining chip in order to.
Started talking, you want to start interrupting me?
No. You've been talking now. You've been talking. You've been talking. You've been talking.
Speak. So
you've been talking.
Under the secular laws that we currently have in Nigeria today, people still steal billions, and this is not saying Sharia needs to be criminalized, okay? So because I don't understand the hypocrisy. Under the secular laws that we have in Nigeria today that we run, politicians still steal billions of dollars and they get away scot-free. At the same time, less than 2 or 3 days ago, a person was released from prison after spending 14 years in prison in southwestern Nigeria for stealing a chicken. So let's not pretend that what the North is doing is not political. If you say it is bad in their implementation, like Dr. Perry was trying to tell y'all, we agree. But when you discount places that these people have been successful, not only in southwestern Nigeria, but in Qatar, Oman, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, places of that nature. But it seems like you guys, for whatever reason, which I think is actually deceptive, I don't think it's whatever reason, for deceptive reasons, you pick out countries where.
Well, those countries you mentioned,
where they have
in Africa.
Where you have picked out
countries. No. All those countries you mentioned, are they in Africa?
You have picked out countries where they have politicized.
Oh, you're contradicting yourself because they are not African countries.
You have picked out countries where they have politicized and bastardized.
No, you see, the agenda is to make us all embrace Arabic culture. That is the agenda, and that is why they always start. They always start an example with those Arabic countries. See, I have no business with Arab. I cannot accept Arabic culture. It is not done. I'm African.
It's okay. let's have the next AY. Thank you for joining us. It looks like
another canker one.
why, hey, let's be nice now. This is the new year. This is 2025 AY. That is like a ghost right now. What's going on with you now, AY? What do you make
Sorry,
of
forefather. You know we don't have lights. We don't have lights. I'm
Oh,
not
this
sure.
guy. You're not in Nigeria now.
No, I mean there is no
you're in
light
Nigeria?
in my city. Yeah.
That's cool. Well
Yeah,
done. Well done.
you living next to righteous man.
Happy
Yeah,
New
exactly.
Year. Hope you're having fun in Nigeria.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay, with all the
happy
dedication, but
people.
I'm sure you must be feeling a little bit uncomfortable with all the conversation going. You are
Not
rolling
really.
around.
Not really. I'm just surprised at people high level of ignorance.
Yeah. But why
That's
do
what is interesting.
why do people say that often when they question something to do with Islam, they'll say it's because you don't understand it. When in reality, people are watching people like Deborah give murder that Fulani, this not Fulani, I mean terrorists using the faith to do all those things, and then they are passing rules that are so stiff and tough within a nation that is threatening to actually overwhelm the nation's institution. Then we say we don't understand why people are reacting like that. Come on, we know why
No.
this.
You. I mean, you have a point. The case of Deborah, I heard people. I was listening here and there. People were saying like, "Oh, that's Sharia." It's Jogo justice. It's not Sharia. Deborah death has nothing to do with Sharia. So it's just like how you have all the Jogo justice in Lagos, in that part of the country. The only thing.
Those jungle justice, they are not saying in the name of Jesus. That's the difference.
Hold on.
That's the difference. Does that make sense?
The only
they're not saying in the name
problem.
of Jesus. That's the problem.
Oh, Father, hold on. That no wonder your panelists, they are just rowdy because
look at
you
this
are
one.
rowdy.
Look at this one. He
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Let Allah be praised.
You are not a baby now. Why are you behaving like a tout like this? Yeah?
Childish.
Okay, let me say this.
We're all trying to be.
Let him finish.
Hold
I
on.
think he's being quite polite. It's nothing like half of
So,
Turkeys in Europe.
Where I blame the government is
Wanna
not
smoke
bringing those
crack like
people to book. You know what I mean? But what happened in the case of Deborah was just Jogo justice, to be honest. Yeah, but the only point where I will blame the government, the people involved, you need to bring those people to book. I mean, some of them were arrested. I don't know what happened with that case. But
they are all been released.
Area, to be honest. Kenneth, you need to learn to elevate your discussion a little bit. Everything is not cheap. Stop being childish. You don't talk sound. I don't want to say something.
Call it whatever you want to call it.
Calm down.
Since you all are trying to be stupid in that country,
Hold on. Okay,
yeah,
so let me ask you now. Okay, finish what you are saying, then I'll ask you a question.
There is a lot of misconception, right? I would understand the feeling of people that are not Muslims. To be honest, they have right to be agitating. To be honest, you can't remove it from them. The concept of Sharia is I mean, if you can't apply it to non-Muslims, right? Especially if it's a secular state, as Nigeria is called, right? It's not applicable to everybody. Even if you live in a Muslim country, I mean, if you can decide. You said you can't try me in a Sharia court, right? Take me to a civil court. Sharia is not only what the way people understand it. Somebody go cut somebody hand. The discussion is very poor. It's very poor. To be honest, again, I understand when non-Muslims are against Sharia. It's perfectly okay. If you bring Christian religion to me, I'm gonna be against it. I'll tell you no, because if I feel like it's not gonna give me justice. But when you understand something, you are able. I just feel like I speak the truth, and the other guest
Dr.
I mean,
Perry.
they did quite a lot of justice to it. Even forefather, yes, which day I was watching you. For example, I Speak the Truth is very competent about this topic, right? And not only this, I Speak the Truth, you know him to speak the truth always. But when it comes to issue of religion, he's explaining this to you. Then again, why don't you listen to him? Like
Jagan
even
probably gave him some of his crack to smoke. That's why you can't
if
hear
you
him.
watch Dr. Rudolph today, Rudolph was
Can
able
you let him just land,
to
please?
tap on information from us, Speak the Truth. He focused on it because he saw him bringing a lot of information. This platform, one thing I've said, right? We are from different part of the country, different upbringing, different experiences, different culture. It is an opportunity for us to learn. We need to learn. We don't need to argue to win. No, it's not going to help us. Forefather said something very important. My fear is when it comes to all this religion, tribe, my fear is we are missing the main point. They're using it to divide us. It is opportunity for politicians. They will keep using this tribal religion to divide us. You were also talking about regionalized Nigeria. I'm top on that. But you can't regionalize Nigeria based on religious values. The only regions you can regionalize in Nigeria based on religious value, you could say northwest, southeast. I mean, even southeast now, Islam is going fast in those areas, to be honest. Southeast is still, you could call it at least 70% Christian region, right? It's place like southwest that is 50-50 for Muslim and Christian. How do you want to regionalize based on religion? Where you going to put the Christian? Where are you going to put the Muslim? So we need to look deeper. Like North Central, for example, is literally North Central. You hear the population is also close to 50-50 or maybe 40-60, 45. It's very close. How do you want to regionalize based on religion? Where are you going to put the Christian? Where are you going to put the Muslims? So we need to look at all these issues. Even the state, right? Even some of the states you see, they have reasonable Muslim and Christian population. So if you are talking in terms of evil tribe, the only regions you can really regionalize based on tribe is southwest, southeast, maybe northwest, northeast. A lot of region you can't region. Nigeria is quite complicated. It's not the way we look at it. If I know a lot of us here, probably we left our villages to Lagos to abroad. We don't know Nigeria. Nigeria is very complicated. If you travel down to Maiduguri, down to Sokoto, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you travel down to rivers, down to Cross River, Akwa Ibom, you will understand how Nigeria is complicated. If you've not been to places in Nigeria, you will not understand it. It's very, very complicated. So if we want to regionalize Nigeria, from the point I'm looking at it, regionalize it based on breaking down the structure, based on the urgency of our development. Maybe it's going to develop faster in bits instead of as a whole. This is the point I'm looking at it. The other thing is this. I from this platform, I really understand that. We are not nationalists. Some people, some Nigerians, when they go against the country, it's not because the country is bad. They're going based on the hate for the country. You cannot hate your country. You need to first of all recognize this is my country. Then what are the problems? We start looking for ways how to solve our problem. When you break the country, this country does not belong to just you. It belongs to future people coming. So when you break it down today, then what next? So that's why all of us, we have to be cautious of what we say to divide the country, what we do. We have to be cautious. Trust me, if you don't have peace, you cannot have development. Nigeria is very complicated. So we need to calm down. We need to tone down our discussion sometime when it comes to race, religion, tribe, religion, and this kind of division. They are not really like helping us. We got issues. We got a lot of issues. You know, for me, if I see somebody I know that can get the job done, even in a local government in Kafachan, I will support you, even if I'm not going to benefit anything from there. If I see somebody that will do it in deep Cross River local government, I will support you as long as the people are happy, the people are benefiting. This is just my whole position. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
we want to add something.
Can I speak?
My hand is up. My hand has been up.
Immediately. Let
Just
Onwibo add,
and I'll be gone. Just 1 minute.
add something that you can speak. He's had his hand up for a while now. Finish
Okay,
what you're
let him speak. Let him speak.
Okay, you can speak.
Speak, okay. When I speak.
Okay, thank you. You see, all of us, like AY is saying, I get what AY is saying, but I beg to differ. I beg to differ. All of us know the constitution, the foundation on which Nigeria is being, is operating with. That constitution, you can never solve that problem if you don't deal with the foundation. Let me tell you, how did the 1999 constitution came into force? It came into force by the actions and inactions of the military.
Exactly.
No Nigerian.
Speak.
I'm hearing myself.
Somebody's echoing.
He's had his hand up for a while now. Finish what you're
Can you please mute if you're not talking? Let me just.
You can't help him now.
Oh, Father, I think it's you.
Half of his mind is in Europe. It's okay. Leave it.
Okay.
We know
Thank you.
who is doing it.
Thank you. You see, the foundation is the problem which all of us has agreed quite some time now. You cannot have such foundation and allow, expect people will live, in accordance with the way you want them to live with each other. It cannot happen. The reason why, like I said before, in other countries where they are predominantly Muslim, don't have most of the problem that you have in Nigeria, is because they are more in number. They are more in number. But when you come to Nigeria, you have quite reasonable, let me say 60, 40, 50, 50, or 50 on the other side. This is the problem. If Nigerians were called upon, how are we going to live? They come in, they put up everybody put up their own, opinion and how they are going to live. A document is drafted from there, then things will work well. But when you are working with what I call a decree, which although I had no power to change anything as at that time, I had no power. I was just a warrant officer second class. I had no power to change anything. If you work with that foundation, you will never, from now to 30 years, we will die and our children will come and begin to discuss about the same issue because you have allowed strong men to determine what happens in the country instead of building strong institutions. That is the problem. Nigerians were not agreed on the foundation that is being used now to run that country. That's what I have to say there. Thank you.
Let me just ask him a quick question, if you'll permit me.
Okay, I think
Kenny
it's time
wanted
for
to
me
ask
speak
question
now.
first. Kenny, 1 minute, go ahead.
It's very simple. See, we all know how to blanket talks, serious issues, and begin to put cream on the body so that it will appear nice and sound, sweet to the ears. See, if somebody is coming here to tell us that that in the north, in the north middle belt, you have 50-50 Christian Muslim. In the southwest, you have 50-50. In the southeast, you have 70-30. So how would you begin to Islamize Nigeria? Or that all those are cock and bull story, right? The thing is, if you know that Nigeria is that diverse a religion, in a religious aspect, why then are you pushing for the Sharia law? Why is their intent? Bumbure here was asked a question. What is the motive for pushing for this Sharia law? He could not answer it. What is their intent? What do they want to achieve? He could not answer it. The same thing played out during during Obasanjo's second time or election bidding. They use that as a beginning chief to get what they want or what they wanted from Obasanjo. And today they want to replicate same. They want to use the same tactics, the same style to push for Sharia law in the Southwest. And though this guy today, Tinubu, is helpless, Tinubu knows that he knows that the South and the Southeast are not going to vote for him. Obviously, they did not vote for him last time, and he already know that the North have rejected him completely because the North was the one that actually voted for him last time. So he knows that they rejected him, and in the Southwest they are divided. So there is no way, there is no magic Tinubu can perform to win this 2027 election. The only magic is to rig it again, and it will be very obvious. So the North now saw a loophole or a kind of idea to now push for this Sharia law in the Southwest, and that is why they are doing. And you and I will sit here. They are going to achieve it. He's going to promise them. He's going to give it to them, provided they elect him for the second term. See, there is no point trying to smooth this talk. If Sharia law, if they don't have, if you cannot tell us the intent, if you cannot tell us their intentions, why then are you pushing it? You're making an example with Kuwait. Kuwait is 75% Muslims. So 75% Muslim, why is the need?
Okay, so
actually, the 75% is not enough. The 75% is not enough. They want to make it to 100%. So that is why they still have Sharia law. As soon as they push that agenda, as soon as they increase their percentage to up to 90 plus, they will remove Sharia law.
All right, Kenny, we get
you
it.
have you had it before. I think you had it previously in Turkey. As soon as they achieve that dominance, they remove it. So that is the essence. Once they achieve the dominance that they are looking for, they just remove it so that you will not call them a Sharia country. See, that is what they want to do in Nigeria. Once they achieve that dominance, they will forget about Sharia law.
Okay, Kenny.
That is
they
how
want to
they come in.
Islamize everybody. They want to put everybody in
and you and I, we own Nigeria, right? You cannot come and impose Arabic culture on us, and you think that we should all accept Arabic culture. Islam is about Arabic culture, so you can't.
We get it.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to the next person, please. There's someone here that needs to speak. Ed, thank you for joining us. As you can see, welcome to 2025. I hope it goes better for Nigeria. You can argue some things were bad for Nigeria this past year, but the refineries coming on stream is a positive. Please go ahead. What do you make of the conversation so far?
Oh, thank you so much, forefathers. Happy New Year to everyone. It's still not 2025 where I am, but it will be in the next about 45 minutes from now. I wish everyone the best of it. And I mean, it's been I'm glad we are having these conversations. I actually did not want to come up, but there are some things that I said that I just felt. I mean, I couldn't stomach it. I think in the first place, there's a lot of obfuscation and a lot of gaslighting going on here. You know, we're having an intellectual conversation. The whole idea of suggesting that, some people are the purveyors of truth and should be listened to, I think that just minimizes the need for a debate or for an intelligent conversation. If you already believe that some people are the only ones that should be able to tell the truth on issues. People have their different perspectives based on what their experiences are and what they've seen. Having said that, I want to get back to the question of this Sharia law. What does it really mean to be Nigerian? What unites us as Nigerians? Is it is this going to in any way help unify us more as a people? If we feel that, you know, division along ethnic, along religious lines has been one of the main issues that we have in Nigeria. Is this going to further that, or is this going to is there any like economic or social benefit to it? Those are things we really need to ask. You know, by practicing these laws, does it make us even more Nigerian? Does it improve us economically? Does it improve us from a social perspective? You know, those are questions, those are the interrogations we really need to make. You know, there's also this whole conversation about our constitution, right? I've heard people say the constitution is based on Christian laws and all of that. And I can't think of anything farther from the truth than that. And here is why. I really don't want to make this conversation about Christianity, but since that's already been said, I think we really need to interrogate it. What is innately Christian about the Nigerian constitution? When we say that, do we mean that the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is based on the Bible? When there is no mention about the Bible, about Christ, about church, about Christian, there's no mention of anything that is existentially Christian in the constitution. Whereas if you flip it to the other side, there is a lot of mentions about Sharia, about Islam, about the Grand Caliph and all of that stuff. What is innately Christian about the Nigerian constitution? Is it because it's written in the English language? Is the presidential system of government a Christian concept? Is democracy a Christian concept? Where in the Bible are those concepts? Because we just say some things and, you know, use that as like a straw man to make very, very scathing remarks to kind of further some agenda. I would go back to what Mr. Tony said, and I think it was a very brilliant submission. I mean, let's take away any sort of religious coloration to our constitution. Let's not sponsor people to Jerusalem. Let's not sponsor people to Mecca. If we really wanting to have a united Nigeria, by all means, practice religion at your personal expense and in your personal comfort, right? Let's take away these things that divide us. Let's not talk about, let's take away things that divide us, but yet we are promoting things that divide us. I just feel like it's just hypocritical. You know, practice your religion at your own expense. If you want to go to Mecca, go. You know, I mean, in all of this, as much as I'm a Christian, what of the traditional believers, those that believe in the tradition? Because if we're going to say, if we're going to say, let's get down to our basics as being Nigerian, what really are we? What were we before the Arabs and the Christians came? If we're going to even argue on that basis, I keep hearing things like, the Yoruba people have had Sharia for a long time. Does that make them innately Islamic? You know, it's like saying, the Moroccans, the Lebanese, they were Christian before, right? So they should go. Would you agree that they should go back to whatever religion they were? You know, so those kind of things. Like, I just feel like we need to be really sincere if we want to have a truly nationalistic outlook. let's quell all these things that bring unnecessary division, things that bring suspicions. You know, we try to say, okay, yes, I know I don't know much about Islam, so I'm not going to make pretense. And I respect if people also say they don't know much about Christians instead of making generalizations or making assertions about Christianity. But then why are people really afraid? Because people are not afraid of the Christianity or of the Islam that they do not know. They are afraid of the Islam that they see in Nigeria. They are afraid of the Islam that was used as impetus to kill Deborah Samuel. They are afraid of the Islam that was used as impetus to keep Rhoda Jatau in prison for the past 1 year until she was released. They're not, people don't really care about the Islam that they don't know, because, you could preach about Islam, say all these nice things about them, but people know what they see in their everyday lives. They know what has happened to the northern part of Nigeria, which had their own traditional religions, but everything today has Islamic coloration. You cannot say, at least I'm from the South. I still know my culture. I still know what it means to be a Benin man. That much cannot be said about some of our brothers in the North. That's what people are afraid of. So, if we really want to have peace, let's have peace. Let's stop fanning the embers of things that cause division. Religion is a personal thing, right? In as much as we want to be evangelistic in our religions, at the end of the day, we have to realize that people should practice religion with their personal consent, at their personal cost, and at their own pace. You don't have to, start bringing in things that would cause further division. Nigeria is already too fragile. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you very much, and I hope 2025 comes to the best for us.
Thank you. Nice one.
So this is this ingenuity that I say Nigerians are fond of doing. They will tell you how they want to be liberal, and they will tell you how they hope for fairness, but in actual fact, they are swinging things in their way. I guess it's just human nature anyways. And I wish, okay, Anwin is still here. There was something he said, and which was what I wanted to ask a question on before Kenny, of course, jumped in with his usual babble. Anwin said if it's in the Constitution, everybody should sit down, talk about it. It shouldn't be a decree. And if, for example, it is enacted in the Constitution after everybody agrees with it, then he would have no problem with it. Am I right so far, Wimbo?
No, I think that is you've just misconstrued what I said.
So basically, I'm saying so that means you disagree. Fine. So that means even if it was in the Constitution, good. So that means again, this is the disingenuity I'm talking about. So that means even if Sharia law was in the Constitution for the Northerners or the adherents of the Islamic faith, you would have a problem with it. Because prior to that, what you told us was everybody should sit down if it's in the document. So you're telling us the only thing
that is not.
Fine. You've told us you disagree.
If you can, hold on, please, because I don't know how you always twist things and try to force people to believe what you just said. Look, what I said is this: the 1999 Constitution was a military decree that was given to Nigeria. It wasn't people's constitution.
Which is
listen
what
to
I
me.
just
Listen to me. I did not say if Sharia was added to it, it is going to be a problem to me. Listen to me very well, because you are too fond of doing things that you are very disingenuous, and you accuse people of being disingenuous. This is what I said. If the people of Nigeria were called and they decide how they are going to live in Nigeria, it could have been better. Let them agree and fashion ways to live. That's all. But for them to be imposed
can I speak
upon
now?
with 1999 Constitution, I don't agree with it. Simple.
This is how you can conduct a conversation. Again, like I always say, stop putting your emotions or your personal dislike of an individual into a conversation. I asked you a question. Right away, you said no. I just said what you just said. Hold on one second.
I am very, very ingenious by answering your question because they have asked you numerous questions here you refuse to answer. You fail flat from answering them. And look at how you are. Who is disingenuous?
Can I please finish? All right. So again, I asked you the same question using your own words. Everybody's on here. Everybody can hear it. For those that cannot grasp it or weren't listening or were half attentive, they can easily rewind it. I asked you that if it was in the Constitution, if that was your premise, if that was your position, based on what you said and which I understood, which you're now saying again, but because you don't want to listen to me, of course, because of a personal dislike, you said if it's in the Constitution, you would have no problem with it. Right. Okay, so if you wouldn't have a problem with it, I put it to you right now that Sharia is already in the Constitution as we speak. So maybe your argument, like you said, would be, well, it was a decree. It wasn't everybody that came together to accept it. That part I can accept, which is I just wanted to clarify. So stop coming at me with your own exactly, like just clarify with me. So stick with me here.
Okay, now let me. Have you finished?
Hey,
of course
can I say something?
Of course you want to talk. How can I be finished if I was
I'm just okay. Finish.
How can I be finished?
No, not Jide, not you. Not let Turkey guys speak.
You're fond of it, like the rest of them talk.
I just spoke just now. I've not spoken for a while.
It's okay for me to complain because you do it. You continuously do it, and it is irritating.
You can finish.
When everybody else speaks, you don't have a problem with it. When a divergent opinion wants to speak, then the rest of you, led by you, start jumping in.
I'm very, very evil-handed. How dare you accuse me of impartiality? I'm very evil-handed.
Really so, what I wanted to ask Kenny was, he keeps saying, "What is their intent?" I mean, what else will be their intent? They want to be ruled by laws that govern their creed. He said there's no evidence. Everything he said about, oh, this is why they're doing it because of a second term. I wanted to ask him, wishing he was here. There's no evidence that this push for Sharia in the Southwest is being led by the North. That is not true. You don't know that. I don't know that, except he's privy to certain information that we are not. We don't know. We don't know if it's a bargaining chip for political reasons. All we know is there are certain people of the Islamic faith that want this in their lives. Now, do you have a right to be scared of it? You say, well, this is the Islam we know. I think, again, and I would still emphasize that there's a lot of disingenuity going on, because if you say, this is the Islam I know, this is the Islam I know, well, you cannot say this is Islam you know, when in the next vein you say, well, even in places like XYZ country, they don't even practice it. And those places are predominantly Muslim. So you have to ask yourself, why are these kind of carnages that happen in Nigeria, the type that affected Deborah or the other people that y'all mentioned, why isn't it happening in those countries? And the simple fact of it, like when you mentioned Yerima, it is political. It is political. Just like AY was trying to explain to you guys, there's a difference between the proper implementation of this law and the political aspect. But what I have inferred and what I have gathered, and I'm just enjoying this because it's taking away my time before I go join my family, is that everybody, well, aside from Tony, I'll give him that, most people on here really do not want to hear. They already have a preconceived notion Anything you say, they're willing to jump on it. They're willing to attack. They're willing to argue. This is not something like, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's just understanding where these people are coming from, and what you don't understand, go read about it before making pronouncements, and everything is going to be kosher. Mm.
All right, all right. Let's see what people are being nice to us. You see, at the
Forefathers.
core of it, in my opinion. No,
Forefathers.
hold on first. This is now. I'm coming to you next. For me, the core of it is that should we even be putting all these religions first instead of founding a nation? We are talking about religions here and there, and they are trying. Some of them are trying to extend it. I think it was recently they were trying to even make the Sharia even stronger in the House of Assembly, and it was knocked down. So those are the kind of things we don't need to be happening now. We should be looking at building a viable nation so that our people can actually flourish. So, but let me just play this so that we can get an idea of the mistake we are making when we try to say that, okay, let's uphold one religion after the other, because they're all after us. Let me play this.
The survivors fled to camps on the border of North Darfur and eastern Chad, from where our Africa correspondent Yusra Al-Bakhir sent this report. It contains video of an attack and its aftermath on unarmed civilians, and also mention of sexual violence.
These are the women demanding answers, forced out of their homes by militias in a national war devastating Sudan that echoes the Darfur genocide of 20 years ago. My 13-year-old daughter is still missing since the day we fled, she says. I've no mother, no brother. I can't find anyone. And these are the men that terrorized her hometown, declaring victory to the Arabs over lifeless bodies. Our investigation with Lighthouse Reports reveals this rare, unseen footage. Evidence of ethnically motivated atrocities against civilians by militiamen, promising to make them suffer. We've identified the victims in this video. 5 brothers dragged out of their home and shot dead in broad daylight. One of them, Abdul Jabbar, was only 14 years old. Captured in a hunt of civilian men from non-Arab tribes.
They take what they want and torture any man they find. That is their goal. They never entered Arab houses in the neighborhood. They only go to the houses of black people, break in and take.
That's our neighbor, she says. He was walking to the well right next to his house. Then they shot and killed him. She says the attack was led by the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, an Arab tribal militia turned paramilitary group waging a war against Sudan's army.
We woke up to the sound of bullets, lots of bullets. Suddenly the Arabs entered the town and started killing people in the streets. They entered homes, killing and raping people.
This propaganda video was shared by the RSF, declaring their control of the area in the aftermath of the massacre. Several sources say RSF commanders, including this man, Ali Hamid al-Tahir, ordered the violence against civilians. As his troops moved to capture the army garrison. Survivors also told us they spotted one of the RSF's most notorious militia leaders, Noor al-Gubba, walking in the town center as destruction ensued.
It was terrifying. When you have a defense and then it all falls away, what are you meant to do? We had to flee.
He's describing the abrupt withdrawal of the army, with some soldiers accused of abandoning the garrison, an allegation that has come from within the army's ranks.
All of the army's intelligence withdrew before the attack. Soldiers were meant to be part of the defense.
He says the barracks were sold out and that 40 junior soldiers, mostly from Darfur, were killed in the aftermath.
All of the soldiers who were killed were from Darfur, except the compromised commander who was assassinated. The other Arabs had already joined their people during the attack.
Safia's husband was one of the soldiers killed in the battle, but civilian men in her family were targeted too.
My 3 cousins and 2 of my brothers were stood up and shot dead. My father would have been killed too if he hadn't fled. We had to bury my brothers in the yard with some dirt and leave them behind.
Residents say they'd never seen anything like it, even compared to the 2003 conflict in Darfur, designated as genocide.
This time, these guys conquer the army, and then they come for the civilians. If you have a car, they'll take it. They'll take anything in your home. If you have pretty sisters, they'll rape them.
Thousands of survivors are scattered in these camps, longing to return home and reunite with their families. Relatively safe, but still reeling from the day they were hunted door by door. Yusra Al-Bagher, Sky News, Eastern Chad.
So those are the ones that were able to escape to Chad. So the thing is, the reason why I play all this video is a teachable moment to our people that are carrying the religion on their head. Because it appears from the behavior of the religion is based on, first, they convert you to their faith. Then that faith will actually weaken you. Then they will finish the job.
What you watch
Can you
right
let
now,
me finish, please?
No, but what you watch right now, what has it got to do with what you're
Okay,
saying?
you will ask me that. You will ask me that. Let me finish what I'm saying.
I will explain how it got to do with it.
Yes. So they will weaken you, then they will come and finish the job by Arabizing you on top of it. Because this is not only Sudan it's happened to, it's already happened to the entire North Africa. And most of the Arab world, really. When you say Arab world, it doesn't mean that they are all genetically Arab. They were this is how they were mostly converted. Because Arabs themselves are a distinct race on their own, and the other Canaanites, this in the center. Also, can I finish, please? Can I finish what I'm saying?
What
You will have
did
your
the
time.
person speaking
Can I finish
say
what I'm
was the
saying?
reason for the conflict?
Can I finish what I'm saying? I will address that. I will address that. You know, I will not dodge. I'm not going to dodge it at all. So the reason for the conflict was because of the dispute between the two top generals of that country, and they are being funded. Hold on, they are being funded by foreigners.
No, that wasn't my question. I said, what did that wasn't my question. The person speaking in the video, all of us just watched, they made a certain pronouncement twice, at the beginning and at the end. They said this is the reason for the conflict. What did they say the reason for the conflict was? I can tell you because I wrote it down.
I know the reason for the conflict.
All
I
right,
don't
so
even need to hear that. The conflict started because of the disagreement between the two generals.
That wasn't what they said. They
What
said
would they
it
say?
was an ethnically motivated atrocity against minorities by militiamen. They said it at the
Oh my
beginning
God.
and they said it at the end.
But that's not the beginning, the main reason for the conflict.
I said, what did they tell us? You are not an authority on history. I'm not going to. So what did the video that we just watched?
The video, what it told us was that, okay, let me I'm not going to dodge your question at all. What the video actually said was, as a result of this conflict that was happening, when these people get to these areas, they use that advantage and wipe out the native, the people that are not.
No, you're telling us the effect. I said, what was the cause? What
I just told you the cause of the conflict.
Was that what the video said, or should we watch it all over again? Because I don't know if this is a comprehension issue. Because
no. If you want us to watch it again, we can watch it again.
They did not say anything about two generals. Nobody
actually they did.
Oh my God.
For else. I don't know what you want to say.
They mentioned the two forces, the army and the RSF. I've forgotten what they call.
Yes, and they said it was started because of ethnically motivated atrocities against minorities by militiamen. At what point did they mention Islam as the problem or the cause of the conflict? Is what I'm putting to you.
Who said it was Islam that was the cause of the conflict?
How did you start off with?
I said the reason why this is relevant is because the people that are being killed right now in Sudan are black people that are Muslims, but just because they are not Arabs, they are being killed. Is that clear for you? And that is a teachable moment for our own people that is dying because of Islam.
So you start exactly.
Tomorrow, hold on, because tomorrow you will be next. You might be that same people that are being killed by Arabs because you are not Arab.
At what point did they say the conflict was because of Muslims? Because listen, you cannot.
Oh my God!
Wait. I don't.
What does it matter? What is?
Can you please allow him to make his point so that other people will come in? This interjection here and there.
I've tried
the only
to
person in this platform.
It doesn't matter what it is for. It doesn't matter what it is for.
I speak the truth. Can you just please allow him to finish, please?
It doesn't matter what it is for. It is what they are doing with it. They are using it to kill black people that are Muslims. How can that? You see, the reason why you are pushing so hard against it, because it goes contrary to everything you believe about it.
No, it doesn't. All I'm asking you, when you make a certain pronouncement,
the same thing. Let me finish now. Let me finish what I'm saying. The same thing was done by even Christianity. Christianity, they will try to Christianize you, and if they have the opportunity, they will wipe you out. They did that.
That is not the point. When you start off, when you make a pronouncement by starting off and saying, "This is the reason," just hear me out, okay? So this is the reason why Nigerians should not put religion on their head, because look at what the Muslims. Hold on.
Yes, Arabs.
Damn, so far this okay. Let me place my position. Damn, I think you were fed with parrot eggs as a baby. Listen, and you're telling us you, in essence, what you did was you placed the blame, no matter how you want to skirt around it now, okay? You essentially place the blame on the doorstep and the forefront of Islam, knowing that our argument all through has been about the enactment of Sharia in Nigeria. Now, if a child or an uninformed person was in the comment section or just a part of the audience just watching, automatically they are assuming that it is Islam versus another religion. This is not what you did, and which is what I wanted you to correct. You're saying it as if it is Islam versus another religion, knowing that the topic all day has been about Islam and another religion. Now you want to say, oh, well, I'm saying about the Arab Muslims, and which is what I wanted you to start off with. Now, if you know it is between two Muslim groups, not because this person is Muslim or that person is Muslim, it is because they are of different ethnicities, one being Arab or pseudo-Arab, and the other being of Negroid ethnicity. This is the cause of the conflict, not because of religion, and which is why I said, did you notice what the reporter did? They stated it at the start, and they stated it at the end, that it was ethnically motivated by militia groups.
Yes, and that is exactly what I meant, because they converted those people to Muslims, and now ethnically it's not exactly. They don't.
You're not saying something out of Turkey. You are not saying that those militias, they are backed by Arabs, they are backed by UAE.
No, hold on now. Let me finish my point. Let me finish the point I was making. They were even doing Allah Koba and others while they were killing fellow Muslims just because they are not Arabs. That is key, and that is it. If our own people that are black can picture the consequences of what they are doing to their own people now.
I thought they were killing Christians.
No. They were killing Muslims.
They weren't.
They were killing Muslims. So let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. So they were killing Muslims. So the point of that is to highlight to our own Muslims in Nigeria that what you are doing, you think you are practicing a faith where they care about you. Sooner or later, when you grant them enough soft power, there will be consequences, like the kind of consequences that have flowed all through North Africa and it's coming south.
Do you see how you confuse people?
I'm not confusing people. Okay, if you want to say he's confused, let him be confused.
Even the centric was confused.
Okay, let's say he's confused. No. You can't keep interrupting me.
If we are going to do this thing just like the way this guy is doing here, it will not be good.
If you interrupt me again, you're going to go backstage, please. I'm not going to have it anymore. See, if he is confused, that is for him to be confused, because I made it very clear that these people were Muslims that were being killed. If you cannot understand that, because anytime you see Muslim killing people, you are assuming that they are killing Christians. Maybe that's the conditioning we all have, but we don't seem to understand. That's why this is unique. So that that's why I'm highlighting it too, so that our own Muslim can see it. That the people they are dying for, those Arabs that they envy so much, this is how they see them. Because if you know that the people that you are worshiping, that you think their language is the language of heaven, the language of angels, they are killing you like rabbits and raping your women. And when those women have children, those children become Arabs. Because even if you have 5%, 10%, 15% Arabic gene, you are suddenly Arab. They don't care whether 70%.
Father, let this discussion move.
So hold on, don't interrupt me, please. Because this is a very, very important point that you all need to hear that practice Islam. Because you all know what you are doing in that continent. You all go around so many countries causing chaos because of other people's religion. You are in Mozambique. You are
let
in.
it out. Let it out.
Shut up. You're going to end up back. I've told you already. You are in Mozambique. In the Sahel. Hold on, please. No, I need to let them know what they are doing.
It will make it sound stereotypical.
I don't care. I don't hate. I'm trying to defend my own people. They don't want to defend their people. All they want to do is back on another religion to the hilt. That's all they want to do. They pretend as if that's not what they are doing.
You will end up sounding
above their own people. They are attacking people in Mozambique.
So far, calm down. Calm down. You are the moderator. Calm down.
No, I'm not just the moderator.
You are the moderator. You are the moderator.
I'm a panelist now. I'm not a moderator because it's not fair that when you are trying to confront a truth here, people just try to hide it and pretend as if it's not happening. And that's what causes problem. Tomorrow now, somebody like Kene will come tell them, oh, you are useless. Why are you telling me I should practice Sharia? They will argue with each other. And all of us that want to get on with our life, we have to put up with them fighting each other. That is the nonsense we have to fight against and make sure that this country that we are trying to build is not sabotaged because of religious division. They need to hear it because these things are happening and people are getting killed. Deborah just got killed just because she just made a mistake. People are actually getting killed, and our own people. That's why Mary Antoinette, when she came here today, she was like, our children are getting kidnapped by so-called excited Muslims. And stealing is supposed to be against Sharia law. Where are these people not being hunted? If anything, they are covered. They try to cover for them many of the times. They are not being hunted down and brought down to make sure that they pay for the crime that they are committing. Killing innocent people is not supposed to be allowed, but they get away with it anyway. They even kill fellow Muslims. In Nigeria, one other Muslim was killed, I think last year or 2 years ago, because he said the wrong thing about the faith. You can't keep doing that. And this is the reason why I'm showing them that video, that if you are killing your people because of this faith, look at what they are doing to you because you are not even black. You are not Arab. You should learn to defend your own people first before you start thinking about religion. Religion just came to us how many 100 years ago? Suddenly, because they programmed you in your head, you start killing your own people constantly. That's my take on it. I don't subscribe to the idea that we pretend as if these things are not happening. Why is it that it's only them that are being recruited to fight people? Why are they not recruiting Christian extremists? Why are they not recruiting Buddhist extremists? We pretend as if these things are not happening. Please, if anybody wants to go ahead, go ahead. I think support diaspora voting or something.
Father, let me quickly say something. Sometime, hold on, guys. Sometime we get this into our head. We progress in ignorance. We think we understand what we're doing. What you actually say, right? To be honest, you lack knowledge about Islamic knowledge and organization.
Even politics, you don't know.
To be honest, hold on, guys, hold on. And you are somebody I respect.
Tell me where I like. Don't just say it later. No, I'm not going to let this wishy-washy statement you will make all the time. What did I like? Tell me what I liked.
If you don't want me to speak, I can.
No, I want you to speak, but okay, I don't want the wishy-washy statement. What is it that
him where he lack?
Okay,
I need to know.
Hold on.
I'm here to learn too. Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Hold on. You see, the stuff you're talking about, right? See, there are a lot of dynamics to issues, right? What is going on in Sudan is a Muslim country. First of all, you need to recognize that. This
not Sudan or South Sudan. What are you talking about?
Not Sudan. It's not Sudan. It's okay.
Sudan. There is nothing like North Sudan. It's
Exactly.
Sudan and South Sudan. If you don't know, you need to learn, Kene.
No,
So,
I just want to make sure you
Sudan,
understand what
right?
you're saying.
Keep quiet. Keep quiet. In Sudan, right? Sudan is a Muslim country as it is, right? This fight, we've discussed it a lot of time. This fight is started even in Ramadan, that even you cannot kill a fly during Ramadan. You cannot fight a fly as a Muslim. So, first of all, you will see the only way you can look at it, oh, these are Muslims fighting each other. See, human being, I have said it, human being, either whatever you worship, whatever you believe, human being is human being. It's just like when I have said it, people that believe in division, if you like, just like we talk about Nigeria, split Nigeria into a local government, they will divide that local government. Trust me. This is what is happening. So these issues, right, even when people are Muslim, just like you see leadership, like in Muslim organization, because of leadership, they will turn it into tribe. Like, for example, maybe Yoruba and Hausa are dominating that organization. Oh, this one is supporting my. These are human problem. It doesn't have anything to do with religion. So what is going on? There is tribal content to what is going on in Sudan.
Yep.
It's not because, oh, this one are Arab, this one are black, that is why they're going to kill them. You need to do more research as regard this stuff. Even, do you know Saudi have a black Muslim population? Like Saudi, original Saudi. They are blacks. So it's not only in Sudan you have black Muslim population. Saudi indigene. I have a friend from Saudi. He is black. If you see him, you will think he's Nigerian.
Oman,
But
Qatar,
he's
all of
Okay,
them.
so
Saudi Oman.
by
Hold on.
saying that by
I
saying
just
that
try
this
to
is a
educate
tribal
you on
conflict.
this
No,
stuff.
I hear you what you say that it's a tribal conflict, but by saying that you are implying that tribalism trumps the religion in their
No,
eyes.
that's not
Some
Fafa, that's
places,
not the
in
point.
some
The
Fathers,
point is
fathers, this is
cut
what
off and you start off
these
No,
guys
a
need to
let's
religious,
get
understand
into
this
a
the
night.
crux of the
religious
matter.
conversation.
Let
You're
AY
giving
speak,
a
please, because
religious
you don't want to
you
answer the
people,
conversation,
question.
you
Let
which
people
AY
let
was
speak.
me
This
not
is what they
right.
need to
It wasn't
understand.
a
No,
Now,
one
South
at a
okay.
time.
Sudan,
We can't hear each
conflict
other one at
where
a time. We can't hear
If you
anybody.
if
And
you cannot handle the moderation, blame
yeah,
me.
diaspora.
Forefathers,
I wish you can handle the moderation so I can do the talking really, but you don't
forefathers,
have access
I'm
backstage.
telling you with certainty, in some places, in some tribes, their tribe supersede religion. I can name the places in Nigeria for you. When you bring religion, no matter if it's Islam, Christianity, their tribe supersede any of those religions. One of such places, like in the Southwest, majority of the Southwesterner, quote me anywhere, their tribe supersede religion.
it was all
Yeah,
of the South.
but you don't see that in Nigeria, do you? They want to put religion first.
No. This is what you don't know.
Oh
You
my
know,
God,
I,
this one's
I
gonna
made
start
a
talking
statement
about
before,
Russia.
right? A lot of us, we don't know ourselves. This is the problem we are having in Nigeria. When I was in Nigeria, I had the opportunity to
That talk
travel.
about Southwest, it's
I
not
had
correct.
opportunity
It's not
to
correct.
travel across board in Nigeria, dealing with different tribe and all over. That is when you get to understand the people. We don't know ourselves as Nigeria. That is why
Ewa,
we
you're
have a lot
deviating
of
now. We need
disagreement.
to learn how to
Okay,
stick to the topic.
yeah.
Put Father's feet to the fire. He played a video.
Oh, look at this one
He
wants to put my
has
feet to the
to
fire.
stay.
Now,
Yeah, you got to put it to
Let
the
me make
test.
an announcement,
Yeah,
please. Let me make
you
an
don't have to
announcement.
make an announcement.
I want to speak now.
Yeah. Okay, let's let support the
I
diaspora
want
vote.
Let me finish the
now.
summary. I've talking. The reason why we not blame Forefather is not known to be hateful
Thank you.
person, right?
Good.
I don't just understand. I don't know.
South Sudan was
No.
smart enough to go their separate ways, leaving
You
Sudan
just jumped in
with
from
its
nowhere.
nonsense.
Hold on. Let's hold on. I need to make an announcement. We are heading to 3 hours now, so we have to shut down the live feed from all the other channels.
Let me finish.
The only channel that will be on now is only 2Naija, because
Okay.
3 hours is what is supposed to be on all the other channels. So if you want to carry on viewing, you need to go to this is 2Naija, because the conversation is not ended here. That is the link there. So you have to go there to carry on viewing it. We have to end on Iroko Post. We are not even supposed to be on Dr. Damages even. This is the first. The only reason why I brought it here was Tracy. Somehow, Tracy, you are supposed to know that we have been announcing it that from the first day of 2025 that we are not going to be streaming to Dr. Damages anymore. It's
Tracy
Iroko Post
that very
TV.
handsome man.
Yeah, it's Iroko Post TV.
Father,
from today.
let me finish.
Yeah, you were saying?
Tracy Jacoby, that very handsome man.
Forefathers.
Talking
now. Speak now.
Okay, let me finish the point. So we are not going to be seeing this live feed
now.
Yes, you are the next person. You are not going to be seeing this live feed on Dr. Damages. You will be seeing it on Iroko Post TV, Njenje Media TV, 90 Minutes Africa, 2Naija, Ovu Project Freedom. That's where you're going to be seeing the live feed. So if
which one is Ovu? It's Ovu. Sound like Voodoo. Which one is Ovu Project Freedom?
It's electricity.
Ovu.
Okay. Ovu Project.
Father, let me finish my point, please. Let me make the last couple.
So you need to shift to 2Naija if you want to watch it now, because we're going to end it on all the other channels.
No, brothers. You know what will happen right now?
Yeah.
Right? Let me complete 3 hours. Shut it down. Right? Then let's continue. Because I will not
shut down now. Actually, Dr. Damages is going off now.
I won't have it speaking right now, right? And you cut it off, so you'll be rushing me. So just cut it right now, and let's continue on 2Naija.
Yeah, I've ended from Njenje Media, and I'm gonna end it on from Iroko Post. If you are watching on Iroko Post, you can see the link. You need to go there if you want to carry on watching. I'm going to end it on Iroko Post now.
And tell people to subscribe to your channel. You need to start.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe to the 2Naija too. That too is fine.
Yeah, you need more subscribers.
Yeah, you would think now that I should be promoting